All right, lads. Two things for you to start off this episode. One, it's 2024, and Harrison Barnes won Player of the Week.
Yeah, he did.
What? That's insane.
That's crazy.
And two, I know he's playing well right now, but low-key we forgot to put it in the episode list. So we'll talk about it in the intro. What the hell happened to Tyrese Halliburton?
Are you talking about bad?
Yes.
Listen,
Washed.
that's Gio's agenda.
Told you.
I mean, he's playing really well right now. He's already 4 of 6 from 3 in like the first or second quarter.
Yeah, but he's only averaging 15 points a game. That's
I mean, they really don't need him to be honest with you. Because
has no bag.
He has no bag, but it's fine. You know, Giannis has no bag either, and he
Giannis
won
has
the
a
finals
bag.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does.
Literally one
you
of
must
his-
not watch Bucks basketball.
I watched an entire playoff run from Giannis, and his bag, he couldn't even get past Blake Griffin.
Giannis,
It was that bad.
Giannis has a bag now.
Then why is his nickname Bagless?
No, not anymore.
He
You know what his
well.
bag is?
Last time I checked, Giannis is leading the league in scoring.
I mean, like I
Exactly.
said, you don't need a bag to lead the league.
Yes, you do.
He just runs and dunks. That's all he
Yeah,
needs
but
to
you
do.
need come on. He does more than that. Giannis
Yannick.
he's an extremely dynamic player. Okay, he can do everything. Okay, he can post you up. He can run in transition. He can shoot a little mid-range jump shot too.
Yeah.
He can do it all. A nice little hook shot. He has a bag.
He does it without a bag. He doesn't have a bag.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't got one.
The Pacers' agenda, I don't know if it's because of no Nemhard or no Neesmith or just because whatever, but they're not looking good.
Told you,
my
bro.
agenda for them being fourth is not looking, or third.
That's
Where
why
did I have the Pacers? Like 6.
We both had them 6th, and I know I picked them to go to the finals, and I still think they'll make it. It's just I knew they wouldn't do well in the regular season, and I still think Halliburton's playing hurt because he forced himself to play in all those games to get the max contract. And he's still, you can see when he goes to the bench, bro's in agony, and he just needs to take some games off, but he won't.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, it is what it is. If you have a healthy Mathurin, you don't need Halliburton to average 25 because Mathurin himself is going to play outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
he's
I'm
good.
okay with. For if I'm a Pacers fan, I would be feeling okay about that because Halliburton's going to have these good games going forward. And I think if you have the dynamic scoring of Siakam and Mathurin along with everyone else, Halliburton just needs to play make. And he can fill in kind of like the Harden role with the Clippers right now. We'll talk about them later of just getting like 15, 16 assists.
Yeah, Indiana can also trade for a star at the deadline. Who knows who's available?
Right.
That could be another scoring option. So, but right now it's just what they have.
Yeah. And
So-
it's crazy. It just
They have plenty of offense though. They don't need a score.
No, they don't. They really don't. I think if anything,
They need a big.
they need to back up big.
The setter.
Yeah, and I know they're looking at JaVale McGee potentially as like a free agent signing, which will be pretty interesting.
They just picked up Moses Brown from our G League team.
Yeah, I don't think he'll last that long there, but you know, it kind of is what it is. But yeah, I think Indiana will be fine. I just think it's a rough patch, kind of like they hit in January last year. It's just teams going through the motions. There's teams in a lot worse situations than them. So I guess it kind of is what it is. And as far as Harrison Barnes goes, I mean, he's in his bag right now.
Yeah.
What did he? Let me see.
I don't know. He must get drug tested because I don't know what's going on.
He averaged like 24 or 25
How
this
old
past
is
week.
he?
He's like just about 78, give or
Yeah,
take a
like-
few decades.
Yeah, he averaged like 28, 25, 22.
How old is Harrison Barnes?
Harrison
That's
is
serious.
Harrison is
That's funny.
32.
32 years old. He honestly looks like he's pushing
Are
40.
you looking it up?
Yeah, he's 32.
Yeah.
You guessed that, or you?
No, I have his
Oh, you
picture.
have
Yeah.
it. Okay.
He is the oldest looking 32-year-old I've ever
He
seen.
actually is.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, he's
So I mean, Steph Curry's what, like 36,
Yeah.
and he looks a lot younger than Harrison Barnes. So
Yeah.
even LeBron looks younger than Harrison Barnes.
Nah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know, bro. How many 40-year-olds are that jacked?
You're right.
Exactly. How many 40-year-olds can jump out the gym?
You're right.
So how many 40-year-olds have a son in the NBA?
Keep going, bro.
Exactly. I can just keep on
going.
going. But yeah, it's crazy. He's kind of doing his thing over there in San Antonio. But yeah, anything else before we kind of dive into things?
let's go.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode number 33 of the Floor Spacer podcast. Tyler Schwartz, Anthony Cavino, and Giovanni Squateri coming at you from the studio once again. Lads, how we doing?
33.
Chilling.
Doing good.
33.
We're gonna try to breeze to get to Denver and Knicks
Yeah.
playing in an hour or so,
Yep. Should
and
be a
run
interesting
from
game.
there.
So
That's
it
it.
is our Thanksgiving episode. This is dropping the day before Thanksgiving. So We hope you and your family have very happy, healthy, enjoyable Thanksgiving.
Eat up.
Yes.
Go crazy.
Eat like
And
biggest fat ass.
Go
Like,
crazy. Just
we
for
are
today.
we are thankful for all of you behind your iPhone, laptop, iPad,
TV screen.
whatever you have, Walkman,
Okay.
whoever has a Walkman. Yeah, but we're thankful for you, whoever.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anybody in public that's a fan of. We're waiting for that day to come. That's
Well,
a
we've
random
seen
person,
one, right? Shout out to Nestor.
Yeah,
shout out
he
to
saw
you.
me, but that's we know that person.
Yeah.
It's,
Still.
it's
He-
not a rando,
it's
like,
like-
someone that's a complete rando.
I mean, it's a rando to you because you didn't know him.
it's a rando to me. That's
so,
correct.
but he does, obviously. But yeah, I mean, we're really grateful for all of y'all. You know,
And wait, hold on. All my gym bros, if you're on a diet, just take it easy for Thanksgiving. Eat the piece of cake.
You're
all
not on D&D,
Have some
sir.
ice cream.
That's his mail.
Look, it's okay. That was just my notification. It was reminding me to tell you guys,
yeah, there you go.
eat up on Thanksgiving. Enjoy
Yeah.
it. Thank God for what you have, and that's it.
Yeah.
Correct.
We probably should have done like a Thanksgiving tier list of some sort.
Yeah, that
Maybe
would've
next
been
year
cool.
we can do that.
Oh,
Yeah, we could have done like.
we could.
I guess we'll do the intro right now. The most underrated and overrated Thanksgiving
Yeah.
food,
All
or I
right,
guess
go.
your favorite or your least favorite. What are we saying?
We
Most
can do. We can
underrated?
do. No, we can do most and least.
Yeah, what's your favorite and least
I
favorite?
got you
Yeah.
for a hot take right now.
Okay,
Most underrated. Oh wait, are we doing
Least.
It's
least
whatever you
favorite
want.
and most favorite?
So, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm just do most underrated is turkey.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes,
underrated.
yes.
Everyone hates
Yes.
turkey on Thanksgiving.
I know why, because no one cooks it right. They
Nobody
cook it well.
does.
They cook it way past well done. A turkey done right is better than chicken 11 times out of 10.
Yeah,
All right.
a good turkey, it gets the job done every single time.
Gas.
All right.
And
And
if
I've
you-
had bad turkeys before, and I understand you guys, but how about you like look up how to cook a turkey for once?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll help. Or just come to
I
my
would have
house.
to agree.
You see, I'm very lucky because my cousin's in culinary school. Shout out you, Matt.
Oh, nice.
We're having his turkey again for Thanksgiving this
That's
week.
clutch.
And I'm
coming.
like,
I'm coming.
looking
Yeah,
forward to
we're
it.
invited.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't know my underrated dish.
Oh, I have another one. Oh my
Ooh.
goodness. I have
All right, let me
another
hear it.
one. Right now?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
go for it.
What's it called again? All right,
You
so
forgot
it's
already.
sweet potato souffle.
That's the
okay.
sweet
Oh,
potato marshmallows.
My
Yeah, I think so.
goodness.
Sweet potato
No,
marshmallows.
Not even that. I'll tell you what it is. It's sweet potato. I mean, it's a lot of sugar. It's almost like a dessert, low key, but it's
is.
not.
Correct.
So it's like it's sweet potatoes on the bottom layer. The top layer is like crusted with like pecans and brown sugar and
Yes.
all these different spices together.
Just all the work.
And it's a sweet potato souffle. And oh my goodness, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm actually not a sweet potato fan.
Sweet potatoes are good.
I don't like them.
If you come to my house, I will change your life.
Sweet
Pause.
potatoes are good.
Very fair.
Overrated stuffing.
Yes, stuffing.
Not a big
overrated.
stuffing. Underrated. I think pumpkin pie. All the pies.
I think pumpkin pie is properly rated.
Yeah.
It slaps all day.
Well rated.
Mac and cheese is underrated.
I don't think mac.
A lot of you forget the mac and cheese.
Mac and
Not
cheese.
my
is-
house.
yeah, it's not on our
That's
table.
a staple.
It's not. It's not on our table.
It's not on your table?
I also can't eat it. So like.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Sheesh.
underrated. I don't know if you guys have it on your
else?
table, but my aunt makes a corn casserole,
Interesting.
and it's like
We'll
a
just do
cornbread
corn
on
on a-
steroids. It's so
Oh,
good.
okay. Cornbread's on the table.
Yeah,
Cornbread, yeah.
I'm a
Cornbread's-
cornbread junkie. So
Nice.
overrated, I would say either green bean casserole or stuffing.
Yeah.
Stuffing
I don't like either.
Ass.
Yeah.
So
I don't like either.
So very interesting as far
Alright.
as far as that goes. We do have an action-packed episode for y'all today. I'm going to pull it up on my phone because yes, I did forget. So obviously we're going to talk about a retirement again, which they seem to just always happen now since we started our show. So we'll talk the retirement. We have the return of Tingus Pingus that we'll talk about later on. There's been some rumors flying around about the future of how the NBA works and how it functions, and we'll talk more about that later, obviously. I have another player spotlight to talk about that we'll have you guys guess when we talk about it. And then we have a few teams to go through, teams that have been playing very well as of late, teams that have kind of, been quietly cooking. And after a one-episode hiatus, it's the return of Shower Thoughts. And it's my turn this week. So I have a good question for y'all, and it's sure to dig up some good dialogue. So, before we dive right in, if you guys are on YouTube and you do enjoy today's episode, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, hit the bell. Obviously, we're almost at 4K subs. If you're on audio platform, Spotify, like 5 stars, follow the whole shebang, answer the polls, follow our socials all down below, get Gio to 1 million Twitter followers. And yeah, is there anything else we have to say before we dive right in?
I will drop a fun fact. I learned on YouTube today just a little bit the algorithm. I don't know if it'll work for us, but everybody that views, please hit the like button. Apparently, the like button is what makes the algorithm go.
The like button pushes everything.
So
far.
that's what I was watching New York Giants guy. He has a lot of subscribers, and he's like, I don't know how it works, but I know the like button works. So just tap the like button. So I said, all right, we'll use it on our show.
Yeah, the more likes and comments you get, the more it pushes because it's generating more engagement. And as of right now, the past 28 days, only 6% of you that watch our videos are subscribed. So what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. It's always like that for like me.
Yo, why are you so surprised?
It's like a normal YouTube statistic.
Why the hell is it so hard to touch a button, people? You touch our video, touch a button.
Pause, and it's free. So yeah, if you don't hit the like button, Gio's gonna be very disappointed in you.
Hey, here's the thing.
What?
If you watch the videos, hit the subscribe button so you can watch more, period. Okay?
Yeah.
If you're interested,
if you're clicking on the video,
If you're
why
not-
is it so hard to click on a button?
If you're
to
not
subscribe?
interested, don't subscribe. Straight like that.
Exactly, it's
And
free
if
to
you're
do.
watching,
It takes.
why not?
It literally takes less than 2 seconds,
Exactly.
and it's free.
I never understood why that ratio for every channel is always off.
Well, I get it because I don't subscribe to a lot.
I don't subscribe to a lot.
You're the
like-
reason why.
Only stuff that I
You are
actually-
part of the problem.
You're
really
just
value.
subscribe to, I literally subscribe to everything I want to watch. It's like because it goes right to your inbox.
Yeah, but if you see us on like the recommended page, you're not going to subscribe right away, especially if you
No.
don't like what we're saying.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I'm sure a lot of
I
Knicks
understand
fans
it.
watch what I said about them and they're like, "Yeah, I'm not subscribing
Yeah,
to this
right,
dog
right,
shit."
right.
Like,
Who cares? Oh,
yeah.
It takes time. It takes time.
But yeah, so obviously hit the subscribe button if you're new or if you haven't subscribed already. And with that, I think it's time we dive right in. All right, into the first segment, the first story. Guys, guess what? Another player retired. It was like number 12 now, something like that.
Yeah, something like
So we had one episode where it was like, I don't know, we had like 5 and 1. It was crazy. But today we have a longtime NBA veteran, a guy that really made his mark in the short time he played. And Antoine, you can tell us all about Brother Man, so take it away.
Wow. So this is Rodney Hood, former Duke player from, I remember most of the times because he was a high recruit to Duke, but former first-round pick, 23rd overall to the Utah Jazz.
What year?
2014.
2014.
Literally not even 10 years. Well, yes, a little over 10 years.
Wow.
He's retiring at the age of 32. He just turned 32 October 20th. He hasn't been in the league since 2022, where he was on Milwaukee and the Clippers. Didn't play the full season. And then previously was in Portland for 3 seasons. It was kind of his dip off. His prime was Utah. He most he averaged was his last year in Utah. Actually, he got 16.8 points per game in that last year before he went off to Cleveland for 2 seasons. But Rodney Hood was, I guess, the player. I think Tyler had. I
That was
guess
both of
someone.
you.
It was both. Oh, it's 20 questions.
No, it was a guess the player between you two, and I guessed his.
Yeah. And like I should have known who it was because I know Rodney Hood. He was one of my favorite players coming out of Duke in that draft class.
Are you just saying that? Or are you?
Yeah, I think he's just saying that.
No, I watched a lot of Duke basketball growing up.
He was one of your favorite players, Rodney Hood.
Coming out of Duke.
Okay.
I mean, fair.
Duke.
You also did give it. The Jazz was his most notable team. You gave it to the Blazers.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah,
They're both. Cleveland, I know a little
What are you
bit
talking
too.
about? I didn't do that.
you did. It's
No
literally
way.
on video.
All right, I have to see that.
You can check it
video.
after the pod. Yeah.
But yeah, a young player that just called it quits fairly early in his career. I mean, he passed that 10-year mark. A career 10.5 points per game. Rebounds, assists were really low. Doesn't matter. Career 42% shooter, 36.3% from 3. I guess this is another prototypical role player. Did start a good amount of his career.
Lefty.
Yep.
Lefty. Started his first 8 seasons, a good amount, and then kind of dipped off. No, wait. 1, 2, 3.
He got traded
Yes.
a bunch, so I think
He got traded a bunch. Yeah, I'm counting.
He only played 8 seasons in the NBA.
Yeah, 8 years. Yeah, so okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
and 8.
And 8.
7. Yeah, he started 7. 6
he's-
out of his 8 seasons. Because they have it all bunched together here with 2 teams, 2 teams, 2 teams, 2 teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do we have to say about, I guess, Rodney Hood calling his career 8 years? Fairly short.
It's a shame because, he was playing really well as just like a role player. We all remember in 2018, he hit that 3 to just send Denver home in Game 7 in the second round. That's when they went to the conference finals against the Warriors. They obviously got blown out. And then, you thought that he could take another leap from there as he was entering his prime, and then he tears his Achilles in 2019. And he never recovered from that, and that's why he retired.
Wow.
And it's really a shame because Rodney Hood is someone that's well respected around the league, someone that really worked hard every day on and off the court. And yeah, it's really just kind of a big shame of, to see a promising player go out like that.
Yeah.
And we're kind of seeing that a lot with NBA players. One big injury, can really derail everything, and you're not the same player as you once were. So what do you think, Gio?
Yeah, the same thing, actually. I was wondering what it was that, like, kind of derailed his career, and there you go, the Achilles injury. That does it for a lot of players. Yeah, like you said, unfortunate, but it is what it is, and farewell to Rodney Hood. Great career, even though it was short.
Hey, look,
still a good.
If you played
8
more
years.
than if you make it past the rookie contract, you've made it in life.
You did it,
Regardless
And
of
you
how good
got-
or bad you played.
Yeah. So shout out to him. Best of luck in part 2 of his life. So
You want me to tell you about part 2 of his life?
Tell me.
Because he took to social media to, obviously every player when they retire, they release some sort of statement. And Rodney Hood wants to become a coach.
Okay.
So we probably will see Rodney Hood's face around the NBA here and there.
Did he say NBA coach or did he say?
He just said a coach, so I don't know what he meant
You
by
have
that.
to work your way up.
Does he have any kids?
Probably, yeah.
So he might be
Gonna
just
imagine
coaching his kids.
Yeah.
No, he wants to be like at the higher level.
Oh,
I
he
just don't
wants-
know if-
okay.
I don't know if he meant like college or the NBA, but
okay.
look, I mean, it wouldn't hurt Chauncey Billups to give him a call, put him on the staff. Same thing with just with any of his former teams, like Will Hardy, same deal.
100%.
I feel like he's a cerebral player, so
Yeah, and also history does tend to tell us that the more average-ish players become good coaches.
yeah.
And even just like front office in general, right? Like Michael Jordan, one of the greatest players of all time, one of the worst owners of all time. So just because you dominated the sport doesn't mean you're good on the business aspect of things or on the team management operations sort of stuff. So, and the same thing applies for like most sports. Like it's the role players that really have the knack for coaching.
Yeah,
So,
Chauncey Billups, another example. Terrible coach as of right now.
yeah, and
Put into a bad spot.
he's also in a nasty situation.
Yeah,
Not much he
he's
can
in a
do
bad
about it.
spot. Nothing
Yeah.
you can do about it.
But yeah, there's not that many good coaches. I mean, Steve Kerr wasn't the greatest player, and he wound up winning 4 championships.
Steve
as a head
Nash
coach.
is another terrible coach.
He shouldn't even count. I mean, he was so bad.
Yeah, he'll never get another coaching job.
But
That was a one-time fluke.
Yeah.
Off.
Tyronn Lue.
Ty Lue, yeah.
Average
Disrespected
player.
average
moments.
player,
Great
he's
coach.
one of the most honestly one of the most underrated coaches ever. Ty Lue.
Wow, that's a big
So,
statement.
yeah.
Doc Rivers too. Another average player.
His-
He's
Very
also
great
average coach.
He was
I'd say.
no, his peak was good.
His peak
but
was good.
outside of that, no.
I mean, how you gonna lose
Yeah.
when you got those guys?
Look, Doc Rivers can find a way to lose with anyone, so I wouldn't mess with that. But yeah,
You know what I heard?
What?
When Kevin Garnett said anything is possible, he was saying that because Doc Rivers was
Doc
the coach.
Rivers was the coach. Exactly.
Ah.
So look,
no idea.
maybe Rodney Hood becomes the next like great coach. We don't know.
Yeah.
I could definitely see him like cooking with a rebuilding team. Like look maybe like 5-6 years down the line, you got a current contending team rebuilding. I think that could be a perfect opportunity for bro. But we'll see where he winds up as far as assistant wise. Because when you're an assistant coach, it really depends on who your head coach is. Because you notice the Popovich tree is key, bars. Because, that's where a lot of the great coaches come from. I know earlier on, a lot of the guys from Red Auerbach, the same thing. So if he can wind up in a good situation with good coaches, then he'll be good. Look at Kenny Atkinson with Cleveland. He spent the past 5 years in Golden State.
Right.
So it really helps.
It does.
And yeah, so obviously we congratulate Rodney Hood. We wish him the very best. And lads, is there any final thoughts, comments, concerns, questions regarding Rodney Hood?
No, let's move I'll transition us into the next one.
Go for it, bro.
So we have a major return as of tonight. Right now, Kristaps Porzingis is back on a minutes restriction as of right now. He is not filling in, but Al Horford and Luke Cornett are out. Those are the two backup bigs, so he's kind of taken a little bit of the load.
He's taking his spot back.
Yeah, he's taking his spot back from these two guys, but he has no kind of depth behind him. I think, Xavier Tillman might come in for them, but they'll be back. But Porzingis has had his foot surgery in late June and has been ramping up. His surgery was to fix a tear in his tissue that holds his ankle tendons in place. And then that issue did limit him to 7 playoff games during the Celtics championship run last season. So the main reason for this type of, time frame for injury, they set certain milestones in his rehab process that he had balanced in his body to supplement his healing of his leg injury from last season. The original window for his return was 5 to 6 months. He made his return in just under 5 months. So he just got that cut off, shaved off a month of added time.
Good.
And as of right now, Boston is up 16 on the Clippers.
He's not having a good game, though.
He just came back into the game, actually.
He's got 4 points.
He has 4 points on 1 of 4 shooting, and those are all 3-pointers.
Yeah.
You know what? I really don't like to watch the Celtics play.
Why?
Just going to be honest. It just doesn't seem like great basketball, even though they win.
I think it's because the East is so bad and they're so good.
It could be that.
If the Celtics were in the West, I think it would be a lot more watchable. But I don't think it's the Celtics' fault. I just think it's the rest of the East being so ass.
It could be that, or I think it's also just the Celtics style of play is just so like shooting a bunch of threes.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. It's boring to
Joe
me.
Mazzulla wants them to shoot a lot more threes.
And it's working.
It's
but
proven to
it's not fun to watch.
It's proven to work, but the Celtics right now have the highest percentage of shots being threes at 47%.
It's insane.
It's insane. It's like the highest ever.
Yeah.
Last year they averaged 51.4 threes a game.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
And, the Celtics, unfortunately, as much as we don't like the way the 3-pointers are just being jacked up like it's nothing, it works. They're 14-3. They have the most efficiency from behind the arc. They lead the league in 3-pointers made. They're a top 3 offense, and Kristaps Porzingis is a 3-point specialist for a center.
Yeah.
So it kind of is what it is as far as that goes. I was going to say something, and I forgot what I was going to say. I don't remember. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, the first game against the Knicks, they were guns blazing.
Yeah.
Threes every possession. They were going in. They were ready. They have shooters off the bench as well. It's just a whole shooter build team. I understand Gio getting, tired of watching just championship basketball because they already won. It's the same team.
Did you just say getting tired of watching championship basketball?
Yeah.
You're funny.
I
have to admit.
I think he might be jealous of you not liking shit teams.
No, he's tired of watching championship basketball
really
from the same team that won. It's the championship hangover. He's tired of watching.
That's what it is.
Let me ask you this:
normal.
before Russ got there, did you like watching the Nuggets last year?
Also, I think
No
the main thing it's the same team as last year. Nothing is different. And maybe he'll like watching Celtics basketball.
That's not what it is.
He'll like it 5 years from now when the team is broken up. It's a brand new team.
He also doesn't like the Celtics. You can call a spade a spade.
I actually don't mind the Celtics.
You're a hater. You were hating on them all playoffs last year.
No, that's only because I didn't believe in them.
Exactly. But even though they proved you wrong, you're still not the most fond of them.
Yeah, I guess not.
I don't know. It really depends. But I remember what I was going to say.
Yes.
So the tendon that Porzingis injured was the exact same tendon I strained. It's called the posterior tibial tendon. Mm-hmm. It basically starts up at your calf and it turns into a tendon when it bends around the ankle.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And basically shit hurts, man. Like when you walk, it just feels like someone's stabbing the bottom of your foot. And his was torn.
Is it around the arch?
Yeah. It's right in the center of the arch. It's like right next to your plantar fascia. Yeah. And it's on the complete, if the Liz Frank's on top, it's on the bottom.
Okay.
So Yeah, basically he had like partially tore it, and I think he did more damage to it in Game 3 of the finals when he took that fall at the end of the game, and that's kind of what did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for guys built like us, it really depends on how you come back from those types of injuries, because we don't have a lot of structure and like build to kind of get back, but at the same time, we're not putting as much weight on the foot because we don't weigh that much. So yeah. I'm sure it definitely helped with his recovery.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Porzingis, just taking a look at last year's stats, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, the steal, 2 blocks, 52% from the field, 38% from 3.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely found his rhythm with Boston, which honestly makes sense considering that, the Knicks were never good enough for him to do anything useful. It didn't work with Luka. And then, the whole gist of guys playing better once they leave Luka. But the Wizards were ass, and then he's in a good situation. The Celtics maximized him, and credit to him, credit to them for doing that.
Yeah, he fits right into that. Just jack up a bunch of 3-pointers. Fits perfectly into
I'm surprised they don't have
that wonderful style of play.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe. No, I actually like Joe, but still.
Porzingis fits them better. The Wizards move was like just weird. Yeah. Dallas, it would have been nice to see with Kyrie there how it would have meshed with those three guys, but it was over. He wanted out of Dallas like he wanted out of New York.
I think Dallas is better off with the guys they have right now, honestly.
Oh, yeah, they are. They made it to the finals.
Lively. It's their style,
Yeah, they've somehow managed to kind of accidentally do better than the situation they put themselves in.
Exactly.
Because you trade Porzingis for a bag of chips, and then you let Jalen Brunson walk, and they still make the NBA Finals. Like, they get Derek Lively. They tank to get Derek Lively at 10, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Very fortunate for them.
You got to credit Nico Harrison for that, because that team is a lot better than they should be, if we're being honest with ourselves. But we all know the greatness of Luka Doncic. Yeah. But yeah, what do we see? I guess we always talk ceiling with teams, but we all know the Celtics ceiling is winning it all again.
Yeah.
What's the floor for this team with a healthy Porzingis? What's
the 3 seed?
Yeah.
I'm talking about playoffs.
Playoffs?
Conference finals. They got the
conference finals.
I think there is a world where they don't make the finals, but I don't think there's a world where they don't get out of the second round.
Yeah,
correct.
I'm sorry, it's just not possible.
Yeah,
unless you meet Cleveland in round 2, then maybe you can. There's a chance they lose, but they're good. They're both of them are so far ahead of the rest of the East that they can't mathematically meet until the conference finals.
Yeah,
so. We'll see. I think this will be the first team since the 2019 Warriors to win a championship and get past the second round.
Oh, wow.
So we'll have to see. But any final thoughts regarding Tingus Pingus, Tingle Pingle, Tingly Pingly?
Hey, yo.
Any final words on the Brother Man before we move on to the next segment?
No.
Let's move.
Let's do it. All right, into the next segment, the next story. Lads, we have an interesting one. This is not team or player related. It's about the future of the NBA. And it's about, a lot of rumors that have been circulating around. Nothing from Adam Silver as of yet. But actually, the first thing we're going to talk about is from the words of Adam Silver, and it's regarding the NBA Cup. Now, the NBA Cup, obviously, for those that don't know, is the in-season tournament sponsored by Emirates Airlines. And basically, it's just, it's an attempt to make the regular season matter, because we know guys, my voice cracked, we know guys take games off and everything of that nature. And, a lot of questions have been asked to Adam Silver about what's going to happen later on in the future. And a report says the NBA once considered the idea of a 32-team single elimination style tournament, which would involve the two best or two random clubs from the EuroLeague.
Wow.
To involve themselves in this tournament. Now, I want to know y'all's thoughts on this almost happening or considering happening, and do you think there's a way for this to work?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before. I think that's a phenomenal idea. Anything new with tournament style playing, I'm all for.
1,000%.
I'm never going to be against it in any reason. If it's similar to the NBA Cup, of course I'll be against it because it's just a do-over of the NBA Cup.
Right.
If you're making it single elimination, 100%, the games are going to be more hard-fought, and it's win or go home, essentially. Right. And if it's tournament style, you're looking at March Madness all over again, just NBA style.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's gonna be insane.
That'd be fire, bro.
So if the guys are actually into it, which they should be, because if there's some type of same thing like a money thing at the end for them, like the NBA Cup, that gives it all for a reason. And then the EuroLeague, there had to be something in for them as well. So
I feel like you wouldn't even need a money incentive for this. I feel like players would just play.
It's another trophy.
I feel like players would just play this because it's like so cool. Like,
Yeah.
how are you not going to be a part of this one game and elimination tournament? Like, that's so cool.
This is where I feel like they need to do more on
You
this.
have to have an award.
Well, no, I don't think that. I think the team spread needs to be different.
Team spread?
Because it's just 30 NBA teams and 2 EuroLeague teams.
Mm-hmm.
So if you lose, if you're the Bucks and you lose to the Pistons, you get laughed at for like a day or two, but like they're an NBA team at the end of the day.
Correct. Yeah.
I think they need to do more to involve other teams. So involve the G League.
Yes.
Whoa.
Involve the NBL in
G
Australia.
League playing against NBA teams?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How is that fair?
It's not.
So
it's
then-
not, but
A G
look,
League team could be a
Don't you want it
team.
to, like, a G League versus an NBA team, it's going to be a blowout. It's not going to be fun to watch.
I don't think it would. If it's a single elimination game. Our alma mater took down the 7'4" Tower, a team that is clear and away better than us.
You don't think an NBA team would just completely destroy a G League team?
Most of the time it would happen, but like you never know. Like
Wouldn't you think Purdue with Zach Edey would destroy
come on, bro.
an FDU team?
Yeah, understandable.
That's what
but
I'm saying. If
That's
it's-
like a one-off thing.
it's a one-off.
Well,
thing. But
that's-
again, these games
that's
are
the whole
one-off
point.
things. We've seen
In one game, you could a team in the NBA could shoot completely awful one game, and that G League team could shoot completely amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, heard of Magnet Ball?
No.
Magnet Ball is just when everything's going in.
Yeah.
So if Russ starts the game 5 of 5 from 3, it's Russ Magnet
I
Ball.
love how you bring it over to Russ to try to convince me, and it works. Okay, it works. You got
Exactly.
me.
So I mean, look, we've seen EuroLeague teams and NBL teams beat NBA teams in preseason. Granted, it's preseason, but like still. And again, I feel like let's say the Bucks are playing the Long Island Nets or the Westchester Knicks. This gives them incentive to start their young guys.
Yes, more playing time
More
for the rookies.
playing time. So, and not even the rookies, because obviously they'll decide who's playing with what.
I don't think they
team.
would risk that. They're going to put in their big guns to make sure they destroy these guys.
They don't
and then
need
they'll
to.
get a cushion, and then they'll put in young guys.
Because Adam Silver wants this to be similar to the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup in England.
Yes.
And the first few rounds, when you're playing teams like 5 pyramids lower than you, you're gonna start your young core, and you're not gonna
Yes.
play any of your main guys.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happens until you get later on into the tournament when you're playing Prem teams.
Okay.
So
So you're saying expand it beyond 32 team tournament.
correct, and it doesn't have to be the G League. Like
How
I said,
many
it could
teams?
be. I think 64 would be perfect.
64.
Absolutely.
Okay. Should
So-
there be like a qualifying round to get you into the tournament? Like
I think all 30 NBA teams should automatically be in.
automatically.
Maybe
okay.
maybe have like a select few G League teams. It doesn't have to be 64. It could be any like amount over 32. But I feel
what if other teams are in other countries, like you said, NBL,
Yep.
Euro teams. What if they had like their own qualifying things to see which are the teams that are going to go up against the NBA teams?
they don't even have to do that. They could just whatever the standings and championships work out. They could just also get an automatic berth into the
Automatic?
NBA tournament. Yeah, because in the Premier League and with soccer, the top 4 teams get into the Champions League.
Right.
So that's like one way of qualifying.
That's cool.
Yep.
I like it.
So it would be interesting as far as like that kind of goes, but I think it's just a little complicated, especially with all the travel and everything, and all these teams are pulling up to the U.S. and
Here,
Canada.
here's the thing. Figure it out because the people
Yeah.
will watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basketball will be on top if you guys make this happen.
Just imagine the audience you would get in Europe.
Oh my
Like,
God.
Yeah.
I mean, the entirety of Serbia stayed up till 5 a.m. to watch Jokic win the NBA Finals.
Yep.
So they're gonna watch, and imagine if they fucking win. Like,
Yeah.
amazing.
100%.
That would be
So-
if Euro teams beat the NBA teams. We might have to switch
it's
over to cover
doable.
the Euro teams, not NBA
Well,
no
think
more.
about it this way, right? Obviously, the NBA teams are better on paper and everything like that. But remember, our former coach, Tobin Anderson, said styles make fights. And the style has to be, your style dictates the result, right? So if they play totally different in EuroLeague.
True. And the
they
rules are different.
Exactly.
So which rules are we following?
It's the NBA's tournament. So you
NBA's
follow the
tournament.
NBA's rules.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's how it goes. Just
like
like when the NBA players go play in FIBA at the World Cup and the Olympics, you're in FIBA's grounds, you follow their rules.
So you know if because the NBA players have a hard time with FIBA rules.
Yeah, they do.
So if other teams come and play NBA rules, it's wraps for the other teams.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
if you ask me.
It really depends.
There's no chance. Yeah.
Because a lot of the good, like the EuroLeague MVPs struggle in the NBA. We've seen over time.
A lot of guys.
But we don't know how these role guys would do. I'm curious to see how they would perform. I mean, I'm sure an NBA team would win like every year. Like, let's not kid ourselves, but like, as far as just for the content's sake, try and make a case,
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts regarding that bit of information?
No, it's cool. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Well, it's not going to happen. It's
No.
it was considered of just the 2 EuroLeague teams.
Yeah.
Well, it should happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
But okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move.
All right. So the next thing, this was a report from Brian Windhorst, good old Windy. And he said, a Western Conference executive floats the idea of eliminating both conferences and allowing the top 16 teams to make the playoffs. This idea would avoid a potential battle between Minnesota, Memphis, and New Orleans getting moved to the Eastern Conference. What do we think?
Yeah, so the way this would work is that you completely just go off record. So the best records fall in order 1 to 16. So you don't have matchups like for West and East. So it's completely fresh every year. And I am perfectly okay with that.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're not loyal to the East-West thing? You don't care?
No, I mean,
I'm loyal to that.
Yeah, I'm more on the lines of get rid of divisions, but keep the conferences.
Yeah.
Because how are the 82 games? You would have to play 87 games to play each team 3 times. Because currently, right now,
Yo, you got that quick math, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna come clean here. I literally had a
Okay,
calculator.
I was going to say, you're
no.
insane.
So basically, the way it functions right now, you play your division opponents 4 times. You play some of your conference opponents 4 times. You play the other ones 3 times, and then you play each of the other conference teams twice. So that's how it currently works right now. I don't know how the game spread would work in a world where it was just all 30 teams jumbled up into one. I don't really like how that works. I feel like the conferences need to exist, right?
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I'm all for them making 2 subdivisions in each conference, so 8 and 8 and 8 and 8.
So what would that be?
You would have
What would they be called instead of East and West?
Well, you have East and West,
Probably like north-south.
and you have North South West North South, like the NHL does it. But they have like Atlanta, they have like Metro, like
Yeah,
have
they have-
fancy names.
They have
for it.
fancy. I mean, it really depends. You could do it like in the East. It makes sense to do north-south. In the West, you could literally do like Pacific and like Central because like the
Yes.
teams in Texas and New Orleans is really like kind of tough to tell.
Correct.
But I just don't see the point of divisions because just like last year in the Northwest Division, the Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Thunder were the top 3 in the whole like entire Western Conference.
Exactly.
And it's just kind of weird how it works with the divisions because like these divisions are so lopsided. Like how do you have 3 teams that are tied for the 1 seed and then you have 2 teams fighting for the 15th seed? It's just so weird. And I feel like if you just kind of even it out, each team plays each other 3 to 4 times in their one conference and keep the other thing to 2. Like I think that would work. But let's see. Let's let Gio cook up for a little bit.
I got nothing to cook, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. I never really put much thought into like divisions and conferences and all that. But I'm just of the opinion that keep it the way it is. I mean, for me at least, it's always worked out and it's always been fine. I mean, you're always going to have some imbalances and it'll always balance out and then, switch the other way. So whatever way whatever way they decide to do this, I feel like it's going to be the same thing.
Same thing.
Same issue, same problem. I feel like I don't know if you can fix this issue.
It's tough because we're in like such a weird era where 3 years ago the East was the far superior conference.
Right.
And the West wasn't awful, but it just wasn't as good.
Right.
But now we're in a situation where the West is so stacked and the East is like laughably bad. Like I think the East started off the year like 1-10 against the West. It's
it's
like
bad.
it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. And when you have like, I think the 3rd or 4th seed in the East right now would be fighting for a play-in spot in the Western Conference. Like that's crazy. So
We'll just have to wait for it to flip back.
You know what they
will
should
it
do?
though?
Oh, 100%.
You know what they should do?
What?
The West should split off into its own league. Like how they did back in the day with ABA and NBA.
Yeah.
They should just split off and just like play each other because the East is just that bad.
It's like, bro, it's so dog. It's just like,
Yeah.
I don't even have words because, like, the East, just watching Eastern Conference basketball, man, it's just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's
I mean,
not good.
The good thing is that
trash.
we have some teams
Yeah.
on the rise that are young, but they'll need some time to
Yeah,
match up to the West.
But even still, like, could you imagine how much better the West is going to get by the time the East catches up? I just can't see it, and especially with a lot of these East teams about to blow it up, they're going to trade
Yeah.
them out West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's tough to call. Like, how do you move Katie to the West and you bring back Mikal Bridges to the East? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
The East is in dire need of some competition.
It is.
Otherwise, Boston's just going to make the finals every year. And I don't think we want that. Like,
That's called a monopoly.
Yeah.
it's basically what
They
it
have a
is.
monopoly on the East.
And it's not really Boston's fault. It's just, you know,
The East teams are not putting out
yeah,
the
Boston's
money.
just kind of doing their thing.
Yeah.
So,
They're trying, but it's just the talent level is a drop off, and you have, I guess, in the West, you kind of have two bad teams. One being injury riddled, which is New Orleans, and then in the East you have 3 or 4 awful
yeah.
teams. Philly being one of them, which is just an off year.
They're going to
for
turn
that.
it around. You'll see.
Who?
Philly.
Okay,
I mean,
keep telling yourself that.
They're,
Buddy.
they're 10 games below 500.
It's okay. The Bucks
You-
were below 500 as well.
Keep telling yourself that, bro.
But yeah,
So right now the Knicks are the 4 seed in the Eastern Conference at the time of recording. They would be fighting for the 9 seed in the West right now.
Who?
The Knicks.
Yes.
The Knicks.
Yes.
Wow.
Crazy, because bro, 9 and 7 will get you the 4 seed in the West. It'll get you the 10 seed or the 9 seed the 4 seed in the East. It would get you
Yes.
the 9 seed or the 10 seed in the West.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, the Knicks are what?
The 4 seed.
The 4 seed in the East.
Okay, I was confused for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
They said
Yeah.
they have a 10 seed in the East. I'm like, they're
No,
not that
but,
bad.
if you we've talked about this before. If you look at last season, the Knicks
Yeah.
were the 2nd seed in the East.
Right.
They would have been the 11 seed in the or the 7
Right.
or 8 seed. I don't remember. It was somewhere in the play-in.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
8.
Yeah.
But it's bad. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I don't really think much will come of anything.
I don't think so
They're going to have to jockey up some divisional stuff when the new expansion teams come about.
Yeah.
But, obviously we'll see when the time comes. So, lads, any final thoughts on this before we move on to the next segment?
Yeah,
All right.
let's go.
Let's move on. All right, into the next segment, the next story. It's time for our it's become a weekly series now, I guess, my player spotlight. A guy that's been popping off. Now, keep in mind, this could also be someone playing obscenely bad. So you never know. I could come in with a curveball right now. I could come in with someone that's playing like dog.
It's possible.
So either someone quietly cooking or quietly burning the kitchen down. So that's kind of what it is. And you know what we do when we talk about our player spotlight, we throw it over to these guys and they'll give me a guess of who you think I'm talking about. So lads, I need
All right.
one singular guess.
No, I'm sorry.
From
We
each of
need
these.
more than that.
Is it West?
I'll tell you just the conference it's in. It's
No, yeah. Tell us the division, not the conference.
No.
Tell us the division.
No,
Come on.
You guys get 3 questions.
All right, fine.
So ask away.
What division is he in?
Well, no, like the
No,
yes
like
or
this.
no, yes or no questions.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Is he in the West?
No.
Okay, he's in the East.
Does he play on the East Coast?
No.
Oh, I knocked on a lot of teams.
That does
Okay,
knock
so
off a lot.
That means it's the
East Coast.
Central Division, right?
It's
Most likely.
It
either
could be Central or
it's-
DC.
It's either Central, DC, Philly, or Toronto.
It's not. It's not Toronto. He did RJ Barrett already.
No, he didn't.
No.
We talked about RJ Barrett.
But
last
it
week.
can't be Toronto.
You never
Okay,
know.
so
It can't be DC.
You guys have one more
And
question.
it's
Should I
not
say-
Philly. He did Jared McCain.
we have one more
last week.
question. Wait, what should I say?
It's Central.
Is it a? Should I say? Is it a red team?
Yes, it's
That's
a
a
red
bunch.
team.
That's a bunch of teams, though.
Is
It's-
it a
it's-
red Central team?
Okay. Is your player on a red Central team?
Yes.
Okay. Cleveland,
Bucks?
Chicago,
Yeah.
And
and
Pistons.
Detroit.
Detroit, yeah.
Cleveland.
It's
Would he do
Cleveland.
a Cleveland team? No.
No, it's Chicago. It might be Levine.
Is it Ty Jerome?
Oh.
I
You want to
it's
guess
Ty
that? Are you
Jerome.
guess that? I'll guess something else.
All right.
Go.
Is the player Ty Jerome?
And your guess?
My guess is Zach Levine.
All right. Well, for the first time, we actually have a correct guess.
I think you got it. It's Ty Jerome.
We are talking about Ty Jerome.
Yes, yes,
Let's
yes.
go.
Anthony, good job.
From one tie to another. Ty Jerome, man. I tried to warn you, man.
Yeah.
This kid is goated right now. In his last 4 games, he's averaging 22 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. Ready to hear the shooting splits? 60% from the field, 56% from 3, and 100% from the free throw line.
Oh
That is outstanding. Shout out to my friend Gab, because she was the one that reminded me how good he was playing, because I really didn't notice at first. So shout out you. He's currently like top 4 in the 6 Man of the Year ladder.
Wow.
He has the 3rd best. He's tied for the 3rd best odds with Benedict Mathurin at plus 900. Wow. So right now Peyton Pritchard's leading the race because he's playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
But right now he leads the Cavaliers in PER, which is player efficiency rating, true shooting percentage, offensive win shares, total win shares, box plus minus, and he's tied with Jared Allen for value over replacement player, which is one of those advanced stats that Jokic just fucking dominates in always. That's why all the Vort memes come from that. So he's currently 3rd in the league in 3-point percentage. Not only is that crazy enough, but you know what the top 2 are in 3-point percentage in the NBA right now? Jokic is 2nd.
Yeah.
Josh Green is leading the league.
What?
Yeah.
He's okay.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's weird.
That's nuts. Dallas replaced that man with Klay Thompson.
What is he shooting, like 2 3-pointers a game?
No, remember the 3-point leaderboard is based off of like a minimum attempts.
Wow.
So Josh Green is actually like shooting a lot of threes, and he's playing really well for the Charlotte team anyways.
That's good.
But enough of him. And bro, like his percentiles as far as the advanced metrics goes, because I'm a nerd and I love advanced stats. He's in the 88th percentile in usage rate. He's like at 24, 25%, somewhere around there. The 95th percentile in points per shot attempt, the 98th percentile in assist percentage, and the 94th percentile in the assist to usage ratio. So he's maximizing the assists whenever he has the ball.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, he's generating a lot of points just anywhere. He's just generating offense left and right. And
Start Jerome, bench Garland.
Garland's playing even better than he is, weirdly enough.
No, he's not.
It's crazy, bro. Garland got player of the week like 2
Yeah, he did.
2 weeks
yeah,
ago.
but that was only 1 week.
And he's
Back
he's still playing really well.
Back to normal.
No. Stop hating on the Cavs, man. Just stop. It's not going to happen.
Look, listen. Ty Jerome's going to fall off.
Okay.
Just give him after the All-Star break.
I really hope Russ goes to the Cavs at some point in his career, man. It has to happen now.
Oh, man.
But he's also another interesting stat. He has the 2nd highest assist percentage on drives with 17.6%. If any of you can guess right now who leads the league in that, I will give you $10 million.
Luka Doncic.
Wait, what's the stat?
In its assist percentage on drives.
De'Aaron Fox.
No, it's Jake LaRavia.
What?
Oh, from Memphis. We'll talk about Memphis.
So there you go. And yeah, just do you want me to talk about his kind of journey first, or do you guys want to give your 2 cents on Ty Jerome?
I looked up his journey earlier. It's an interesting one.
It's weird.
Yes.
He's not supposed to be this.
No. If at the beginning of this season, when you told me a player that that was gonna break out, this name's not even close to the top 100 on the list. I can name 100 players before this guy that I thought would break out.
Yeah.
But I have his bio page up right now. I'll just go over like a little bit. He started off in Phoenix for a season, went to OKC for 2. He was in Cleveland last season. The season before, he was in Golden State. He was a former first-round pick by Philly.
Okay.
Out of Virginia.
Okay.
It's his 5th season. He's from New Rochelle, New York, right in our backyard, not that far.
Okay.
It's not our backyard.
It's because he's in New York.
It's in the It's the backyard.
The backyard is Jersey. New York's like across the street.
Yeah. This is he played on one of the good Virginia teams.
He won the national championship.
He won. I was going to say
Kyle Guy,
the Natty championship
with Kyle Guy and Mamadi Diakite and DeAndre Hunter and whatever that short Akihei Clark, that was his name.
Oh, okay.
So
he did lose to UMBC. He was on this team, right?
Yes, he was. That was his final game. It was his second to last season.
Okay.
But
what year did he get drafted?
2019, year before COVID.
He was drafted by Philly, and they traded him to Boston, who then traded him to Phoenix. But the transactions is I'll try that again. English is hard. The transactions is what's interesting because he got traded for salary filler and like cash considerations to OKC. Then they did the same thing to Houston, then waived him. And then he signed with Golden State. Had a good year for like as a bench player goes, but they let him walk. And then he signs with Cleveland, kind of did his thing for a year, and then really kind of came up onto the scene. I'm getting big Joe Harris vibes from this guy, big Spencer Dinwiddie vibes, because both of them, like Spencer Dinwiddie started off his career in Detroit. Then he went to Chicago, got kind of flipped around, got waived. Sean Marks picked him up off the scrap heap in December of 2016, and he just went up from there. Joe Harris was on the Cavs for a while, also from Virginia, was a mentor probably to Ty Jerome, and, had foot surgery. The Cavs traded him to Orlando, who waived him, and then Sean Marks picks him up that season in the summer, one of his first signings, and he wound up turning into the player he is.
What do you think about his play style?
Ty Jerome, he's like he's just a really good playmaker, and I think we're really sort of seeing that, and his unafraidness or his fearlessness, I guess, to shoot the three ball is really just
contagious.
Yeah. Because I think what I love about this Cavs team specifically, I'm getting a lot of vibes from the early days Nets team. And is it because Kenny Atkinson, Karis LeVert, and Jared Allen are there? Absolutely. But like the way they're playing, like just a bunch of guys all bought into a system, and everyone's just playing at a fast pace.
Yeah.
They're playing a variety, whether like one game they're shooting a bunch of threes, another time they're just throwing up lobs to each other.
They're playing free.
They're playing free. They're playing lockdown defense. That's why I keep calling you drunk for hating on Cleveland, because like it makes no sense. This team is like, it's honestly, if you watch the Cavs game, you actually have a lot of fun.
I've watched it, and actually, I'm being honest, they're more fun to watch than any team in the East, including the Celtics.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, they're definitely more fun to watch, but I'm just predicting a fall off. But keep going, Tyler.
Yeah. No, but I think with Ty Jerome, you're seeing him play freely, and this is why I'm kicking myself that I didn't pick Kenny Atkinson for Coach of the Year, because
I think we all are.
He's maximizing himself to like the complete like full 110%. Like it's insane. And
I saw flashes of Luka Doncic. No, I'm dead serious. Watching Ty Jerome, I literally saw flashes of Luka, because the way he uses his body, he's kind of like, how tall is he?
6'5".
Yeah, like he's kind of like an oversized guard, not super oversized.
He
like
looks
Luka
he looks a lot shorter.
Yeah, he does look shorter, but he is bigger. Like he's noticeably bigger than other guards I've seen him play against. He uses his body very well. Tremendous body control, just like Luka.
Yeah.
They're both like not overweight, but like a little bit bigger.
A little chubby.
You know what I mean? So they both have that effect.
Yeah.
He can shoot very well like Luka. He can play make like Luka, so I'm seeing flashes of Luka.
I'm actually seeing a different comparison, and ironically enough, the comparison's a guy younger than him. I'm seeing a taller Jared McCain.
Huh.
Yeah, they look alike too.
Jared.
Yeah, I mean, both, like if you look at just the byproduct of their games this year, and the fact that they play make very well, their IQ and vision are just off the notch.
They dance the same.
Yeah.
They dance the same.
But like you're seeing them in the right spots, and they both have good coaches. Like I know Philly's struggling, but we know Nick Nurse is a great coach. So like, I'm seeing glaring similarities, and they both shoot the three ball outstanding. So that's kind of the comparison I took away from Ty Jerome.
Okay.
But I'm really loving what I'm seeing from the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think another thing we discount is that, Ty Jerome is a winner. He is a champion. And when these guys that are champions in college get drafted, Jerome being one of them, they're not really lottery picks because they kind of stay there 2 or 3 years in college. But when they get to NBA, sometimes you got to remember that these guys are winners. They won the Natty in college.
That's a good point.
This is a good presence to have. They're winners. They've done it before.
Yeah.
And Jerome, this is his time. He's a winner at UVA, and he was a core piece of that team. And now it's his time to break out.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, if I could name off 100 names before his season started for breakout players, and he was
100%.
not on this list.
Yeah. But to your point though, Anthony, when you draft, like, you have to be very mindful of who you're drafting. Because when you draft players and you're drafting a player that's never really won before, you have to be aware of that.
Yeah.
And you have to have players around that player that can help them, elevate them to that winning mentality that is very contagious. And Ty Jerome has that. He has a mentality. He's bringing that to this team. I'm not saying it's all coming from him, but he definitely adds to it. Whatever they're doing in Cleveland, it looks good.
And I think with him specifically, I kind of get the vibe from what Jokic said 2 years ago, when you kind of need to fail, you kind of need to have your rock bottom moments, because we know the Nuggets had a lot of playoff pain before winning that championship. They obviously lost that winner go home against Minnesota in 2018, something like that. They obviously lost in Game 7 to Portland. The bubble, they lost in the conference finals. They got swept by the Suns. They lost to the Warriors, all that stuff. I mean, before, at the time, Ty Jerome was part of the biggest upset in college basketball history. So, and he rebounds the next year by winning it all. And that, that sticks with you.
Right.
And, we'll see how big of a role he has in the playoffs when the time rolls around.
Yes.
So, definitely interesting. And also, obviously, Virginia, the good thing for them is that they don't have the biggest upset in college basketball history anymore.
Yes.
So,
they got that
yeah,
swept
bro,
up.
it's us, man.
It's us.
That's crazy. It's still nuts.
But yeah, I mean,
We got to get some players from the FDU team to come on the pod.
I don't know any of them.
we could get some from the team that beat.
I can get one guy.
I know
Yeah.
some from the team that beat
Okay.
Purdue.
and
Contact
the team that almost beat Gonzaga.
Almost, bro. We lost by 49.
The team, but sure, whatever.
yeah, we blew a two.
said
We blew
sure.
we blew a 4-0 lead. How about
Yes.
that? Yeah.
but no, this is this good team. Besides having the main storyline of all their starters, they of course have the unsung hero of the team, and it's Ty Jerome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, I'm really happy for Cleveland. They really haven't found their footing since LeBron left, and it seems like they finally have now.
don't forget they still have Max Strus coming back, who's supposed to be a big piece of their core on a big money deal.
Part of me believes in that. Part of me also thinks that you look at Gabe Vincent. Once you leave the Heat, the dark magic kind of leaves.
But Max
So,
is different than Gabe Vincent.
Is it because he's a white shooter?
Yes, he's mixed.
Even though I think he's mixed.
He's mixed.
He might be
he's
mixed.
probably mixed.
Yeah.
We're waiting for Max to come back.
But look, because he's going to make an All-Star team. Once Evan Mobley makes an All-Star team, that whole starting five is going to be All-Stars. Garland made one. Mitchell's made a bunch.
Yeah.
Strus hasn't made one.
Mobley's made
Allen.
one. Jared Allen's made
Who's
one.
their
Oh,
spoiler?
Isaac Okoro is going to be the
Yeah.
only one that has it.
Okoro won't make it. Yeah.
So fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But if Ty Jerome is playing like this in
Right.
May,
That's right.
I think Cleveland could easily win the whole thing.
You know what? I think you're right. And
So-
that's coming from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts regarding Mr. Ty Jerome and the Cleveland Cavaliers?
No, let's move on.
All right, let's get into the teams. All right, into the next segment, lads. It's time to talk about the teams. This is the main part of the show. This will probably be our longer segment. We got 5 teams to cover today. Teams that have been quietly cooking. Again, this seems to be a theme with our spotlights. It's just you go under the radar, even though I don't really think these teams are under the radar at this point anymore, but I guess it kind of is what it is. But if you do want to check out the last episode, we talked about like Houston, and I forgot, honestly, I'm tired. So we'll put the link to episode 32 in the description below. Go watch it. And
Probably talk Warriors, I think. No.
no, I think that was the week prior.
Okay.
I don't remember. But if you want to go check it out, audio and YouTube descriptions for episode 32 is down below. So we anything to say before we dive right in?
Let's
Yeah,
dive.
let's go.
All right, let's get into the first team. Let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, we talked about the Nuggets pulling a 180. Man, this team pulled a complete 180. They've won 4 straight games in their past 4 games. Now, granted, competition wasn't great, but you play who's in front of you, I guess. Giannis won Eastern Conference Player of the Week. In that week, he averaged 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists on 62% from the field. The Milwaukee Bucks also keep extending their gigantic franchise or NBA record of making 5+ threes. They've now done it in 530 straight games at the time of recording.
Wow.
So the previous record was like 4 something.
By
It was
who?
I don't remember who it was. I think it was Houston,
Wow.
something like that.
5 straight. Wait, what is it? Say
They've
it
made
again?
5 threes as a
5
team
threes.
in 530 games in a row.
Oh, wow. How many seasons is that? Probably like 8 seasons, maybe?
I'm just gonna go to my calculator because I don't feel like doing math. So that is 6.5 seasons.
6.5. Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is
that's
a lot.
that's like right around Giannis starting to become a star.
Yeah.
So there you go. And we did see some rumors that they are interested in Dorian Finney-Smith and Cam Thomas as far as a potential trade goes in February.
Cam Thomas or Cam Johnson?
That would
Thomas.
be huge if they got to Cam
That's
Thomas.
big for them.
It would be
That actually fills in.
a need.
Yes,
As far as
because
a two.
you could slide in. I would assume they give you back Middleton.
Yeah, we would probably because
Take
we're
Middleton.
tanking, so we're going to take on. We'll either take on his salary, or the Bucks are idiots. They'll just give us someone good, and we could easily flip them for. We
Yeah.
could flip them to the Celtics for like more assets.
Yeah, but Cam and
like-
DFS go right into that lineup.
I mean, Cam Thomas isn't going to get traded. It's just you have to put your guys available just to get calls because you never know when a James Dolan gives you 6 firsts from a Caleb Bridges. You can't say no to that.
even
Right.
DFS and Cam Johnson, those are still upgrades.
Even if it's just DFS, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But in my honest opinion, the Bucks will wind up with Bruce Brown
makes
after
sense.
February.
Yeah, I would see that.
They need defense, bro. They have none of that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Damian Lillard does not play a lick of
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah, it's bad.
outside of Giannis, Dame, Bobby Portis, Brooke, Gary Trent, their bench is not looking pretty.
Nope.
It's
Who they got?
Literally just mentioned the whole bench.
I
the whole
mentioned
bench?
literally their whole team. Torian
okay.
Prince, I guess.
You got to give credit to AJ Green.
AJ
He's
Green
been
is
hooping.
there, yes.
Yeah.
Pat Connaughton.
Honestly.
We're waiting for Chris Middleton, of course, to come back. That's
I wouldn't count on.
really it.
I wouldn't count on him, to be honest with you.
He's
Yeah.
definitely going to help them.
Well, he's dealing with a lot of setbacks right now with his injury. So because
Yeah.
he's cleared to play, but he doesn't feel comfortable yet. He's trying to get his body ready
the
so he doesn't
injury?
re-injure himself. I think it was his knee, which is becoming a reoccurring issue, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
tough.
as far as excuse me, as far as AJ Green goes, he currently leads the league in corner 3-point percentage.
Nice.
And he's
Wow.
just shooting just shy of 71% from the corner. So he's been a
Wow.
big help to them.
Yeah.
And look, they've had some very tough games, even though they haven't played the greatest competition. I mean, LaMelo drops 50 on your head top and you still win the game.
Right.
Like, that's something to be said.
Right.
So your thoughts, Gio, since I know you were a humongous Milwaukee Bucks believer
Yeah.
in the offseason. So I'll let you cook up for a bit, bro.
Yeah, I had them ranked 3 in the Eastern Conference. The first 15 or so games, it was looking very, very bad. And I was like, you know what, just give them time. And we gave them time, and they're rising up in the ranks now. What seed are they right now?
They're 6.
6 seed. They're 8 and 9, I think, right?
They're 8 and 9.
8
That's
and 9.
correct.
So, look, it's only going to be up from here. Middleton, hopefully he comes back and he comes back healthy, although we can't rely on him. And
Yeah, you cannot.
I see their chemistry is getting much better. In the beginning of the season, it was just give the ball to Giannis, get out the way. Chemistry was terrible, and now it's become, I actually see them passing the ball on offense, which is a nice thing to see.
Yeah.
So everyone's getting an opportunity to, to showcase the skills they have. Lillard is a little bit more efficient than he was prior, so that's also good. And
Yeah.
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 What are your thoughts regarding Giannis as far as the MVP goes? Do you think he has any sort of a chance given the
Oh, yeah.
voter fatigue?
He definitely has a chance, but it would take the Bucks being
Good.
like top 3 seed.
Because right now, I think if there's an agenda to be pushed, it's probably him. Because they're gonna try. ESPN's gonna try and push a Tatum agenda because he's American.
Definitely.
But
Well-
if Jokic keeps playing like this, I just don't see how he can't win. He just seems like the odds-on favorite, even regardless of voter fatigue.
Right.
But
He's so good.
it's obscene.
Look, it would take the Nuggets being like a top 5 or 6 seed,
Yeah.
and then it would take the Bucks being a top 3 seed for Giannis to win. So,
Even still, I think if Jokic, the way Jokic has been carrying, if he drags them to a 5 seed, I still think that could be good enough. Considering he has won the award before as a 6 seed.
right.
So,
Wow.
yeah, if Murray continues to play like an idiot,
Right.
then he's going to win the MVP. But, it's just, I always find it just unfortunate for Giannis because, he's obviously insane, but Jokic exists, so too bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it is.
Same story with Luka.
Right, but remember, Luka's only 25, 26. He's not in his prime yet. Giannis is 30, 31, so he's in his
Yeah.
prime.
Yeah.
But shout out NBA Centel because literally like about a week or two ago, They posted a picture of Doc Rivers and said Doc Rivers says he's going to start taking coaching seriously now. And they won 4 straight games.
No way.
Since the tweet. And then
Hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
And then they posted yesterday. He said like, I see it now.
Oh my
just
gosh.
That's like peak Sentel, bro. I love
Those
them.
are
That's
funny.
funny.
But
I will say.
Antoine, your thoughts on Milwaukee before we move on to the next team?
Listen, if the team, we said it, Milwaukee and Philly were bottom barrel, 14-15. If I was going to pick the team that was going to be better, it's Milwaukee because they're the more healthier team and there's not much drama surrounding them as much as Philly. But equally, they're both in their own bad state of mind. But I had, of course, Milwaukee rebounding a lot quicker than Philly did. And they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, they look good. They need help, though. This team is Dame playing a lot better is great. That's what they needed. But outside of their starting 5, even Trent, Portis, rotation guys, they need depth. It's a Knicks problem too. But I think but the difference with New York and Milwaukee's that Milwaukee has a generational star and also a star that's been there doing it for years. New York's kind of budding stars to like just consistent role guys all around.
Yeah.
Different built teams.
There's definitely a clear gap between Giannis and Cat
There is a
Brunson,
big gap.
which is fair.
There is
it's
a
fair
big
to say.
gap.
And I think what's different with Giannis, I know I've been very critical of Giannis as a winning player in the past, but like he's on a different stratosphere compared to those guys and compared to like Embiid, where Giannis is still going to give his all every night, regardless of whether they win or not. And I think that's just an easier safety net to have rather than relying on Joel Embiid, who's played, 5 games this year, 6, something like that.
Barely.
And look, we've said this. The one issue with Milwaukee's durability. Like, can they stay healthy? Last year, Giannis gets hurt a week before the playoffs.
Yep.
Dame gets hurt in game 2. Chris Middleton hasn't stayed healthy since they won the championship. So, and look, I can't feel bad for the position the Bucks are in. I can't feel bad for Giannis because at the end of the day, like, they wanted Dame. They fucked up the trade. And, you didn't send Holiday to a third team. You intentionally sent him to a tanking team that had they weren't keeping him. Yeah. Like it would have cost you nothing to call up a Dallas or call up a Miami or call up a Sacramento or whoever and get him out of the conference. They got him out of the conference, but like for context, 2 weeks prior to that trade, the Boston Celtics traded Malcolm Brogdon to the Clippers.
Yes.
But because of his injury, the Clippers called the trade off. So you knew Boston had a point guard that they wanted to give up, making $25 million. So like I can't feel bad for the situation the Bucks put themselves in. I just can't. So that's where they are.
Yeah.
And they have to kind of navigate this. And I think it's going to wind up costing them Chris Middleton too. And we'll see who they get back. And I really don't know what their plans are because I think they're going to try and get Bruce Brown, and that's going to be basically a 1-for-1 trade with some draft picks maybe. But, maybe you try and get some more depth because at the end of the day, that's what you need on the team. So that's kind of my 2 cents of the Milwaukee Bucks. But any final thoughts before we move on?
Let's move.
Let's go.
All right, Antoine, take us away to team number 2.
All right. This is my cup champion, and it's looking pretty good as of right now. So we're going to get to Memphis. Memphis currently, at the moment, has 7 players averaging double-digit points.
Wow.
Can you name me all 7 of those guys? I'm sure you can name 3 of those.
You can name
All right,
3.
John Morant, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson.
I can name the rest if he doesn't know them all.
What's that guy? Brandon Clark.
Nope.
No.
No, he hasn't played that much.
Nope.
Who else is there? Go, Tyler. Help me out.
Zach Edey,
Zach Edey.
Yes.
Jalen Wells.
Yes.
Right.
How many more do we need?
You need
2.
2 more.
Scottie Pippen Jr.
Yes.
Wow, Scotty.
and Marcus Smart.
No.
Oh no, he's washed. Unfortunately,
Last-
We just talked about him not too long
don't
Jake
know.
ago.
LaRavia.
Jake is close.
Oh, come on.
He's close. This is Spanish guy.
Santi Aldama. That's my guy.
So we're almost at 9 guys averaging double-digit points.
They're also basically almost out of the NBA Cup, so it looks like they're not winning.
It's looking pretty
But-
good so far.
Talking about depth, this team has depth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean
No
one ever counted out their depth. It was just they can't stay healthy.
We have
Right.
Jaws back as of tonight. He has 20 at halftime. But the guys that stepped up, Santi Aldama averaging 12 and a half. Scottie Pippen just came off a 30 and 10 game on Saturday, averaging 12 and a half. Jalen Wells, their second round pick as of this year, averaging 12 and a half. Zach Edey, 11 points. Jay Huff, 9.4. Jake LaRavia, 8.5.
Wow.
Luke Kennard, 8 points. Marcus Smart, 8 points.
That's insane.
Brandon Clark, 6.5 points. He's getting better, Brandon Clark. And Gigi Jackson's still waiting to come back from injury. We don't know when he's coming back yet.
Wow.
Keep in mind, too, Brandon Clark's off a torn Achilles.
Yeah,
so
but Clark was a
give him
was a
some
big
time.
role player. He'll step up.
Right.
But the guys we didn't talk about, Scotty, Jalen Wells,
Yeah.
Jay Huff, Jake LaRavia. You know
LaRavia.
LaRavia. Who are those guys, Gio?
I don't know who the hell that is.
There you go.
You don't know who Scottie Pippen Jr. is?
No,
You know Scotty.
I know who that is. I
GB.
don't know who LaRavia is.
LaRavia,
I know who
Huff,
Huff is.
Jalen Wells.
Jay Huff was on the Nuggets last year.
Yeah, I know who that is.
LaRavia's been on the Grizzlies for like 4 years now. And who was the other guy?
LaRavia, Huff, Jalen Wells.
Jalen Wells is the most underrated player from this draft class. Like, it's not even close. He is by far the most NBA ready. Jared McCain still has a lot to improve on. I can't really find many flaws in Jalen Wells' game.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
he's that good. And I've really been enjoying the way he's been playing.
Was he really good at? Really quick.
He's just good at driving to the hoop.
Driving to the hoop.
And I think that's something the Grizzlies needed. He can shoot the ball.
Okay.
His just all-around game is
All-around.
fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, and then, of course, when Gigi gets back, this core gets a lot bigger. You know, young guys, we're talking, all their really started, Triple J, Jod, Bane. I guess the oldest one is Bane out of all of them, if I'm assuming.
Marcus Smart.
Oh, yeah. But no, I'm talking about young core. Marcus
Jackson.
Smart, of course, is the youngest.
Yeah.
They're all around the
oldest.
same age.
But oldest. Yeah, but, you know, Jake LaRavia is 23. Huff's 27. Edey's 22. Jalen Wells is 21. Scottie Pippen is 24. He's on the older side. Santi is 23. Ja is 21.
Anthony's-
25.
And how old are you?
25.
Oh.
Bane is 26. Triple J is 25. All right, so...
Yeah.
But you have the guys drafted out of this year. Scottie Pippen, you said, who you love really high on. I think preseason, were you not?
Yeah.
You said Scottie was going to get some good minutes.
I told you that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
He knew.
you
He
stand by
actually knew
that.
it from the beginning.
I always knew it from the
yeah,
beginning.
definitely.
But
I think one of my favorite
yeah.
one of my favorite things about this season, just in general, is seeing Scottie Pippen just be a proud father on social media, because he's gotten so much hate over the past few years after the whole Jordan shit, like, and the whole Last Dance went down.
Yeah.
And it's really just cool to see how his son's just cooking. It's just great. And
Yeah.
my one thing with this Grizzlies team, I just don't know if this team's going to stay together. I think there's going to be some assets dealt at the deadline, mainly Marcus Smart, who also could wind up going to Milwaukee. But I just don't know at this point what their plans are. The Grizzlies have an identity problem, and this team's good enough to compete. I just still think they're hella inexperienced.
Yeah.
And they're gonna
Young.
get destroyed in most playoff series they find themselves in.
For sure.
If they play the Lakers again, like
sure.
the experience of LeBron and AD alone will knock them out.
Oh, for sure.
If you play Houston, you have a chance. Just like because they played Minnesota in Ant's first playoffs, and Minnesota looked lost out there, and they were able to kind of handle business. So I think if you get an inexperienced playoff team, I think they can win. But it also depends on the health. You know, Ja is not a durable guy, and we've seen him get hurt in the regular season and in the playoffs. So that's obviously kind of tough to sort of tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, we'll see. And look, I really love the way Zach Edey's been playing this year, my Rookie of the Year pick. He currently has the best net rating out of any rookie this year.
Wow.
And Jalen Wells is the first Grizzlies rookie ever to have a 25-5 game, 5 assists, and 5 3-pointers. So that's kind of cool.
yeah, this young core looks good. I mean, we're talking about guys who we didn't really think were going to get any much minutes because of their starting five already when it's healthy.
I actually disagree. I think I knew they were all going to get the minutes. It's just we didn't know how good they would be.
I don't know. I mean, I saw Scottie Pippen getting backup point guard. Jay Huff came out of nowhere.
He was about to sneeze, and it didn't come out.
I'm so sick right now.
LaRavia, I guess. We're waiting for Gigi, of course, to come back. But I guess the shock for me probably Jay Hoff, no idea. Jalen Wells.
He's been a pleasant surprise. The Nuggets should have kept him.
Aldama's just outstanding.
Santi's getting really good.
Yeah.
But that's essentially the story of the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts regarding them? Well, I'm going to use this opportunity to segue because there's one player that the Grizzlies had and don't have anymore. It's been cooking, and his name is Zaire Williams. And he's currently playing for the team we're going to talk about next, and that's my Brooklyn Nets. Fuck, we're playing too good again, guys. I'm panicking. This is not good. Like we're 4-1 against the West this year.
Wow.
We count for like most of the West wins this year. It's crazy.
You guys are actually good.
Yeah, I'm sick.
They're not a bad team.
I hate it.
I think it's coaching though.
It is coaching.
Bro, Jordy Fernandez, it's so hard to root against him right now, but he's coaching his motherfucking ass off right now. It's insane.
He is.
Like low key, I wish I ranked him higher. I should have been more biased because it would have been true.
Yeah.
I mean, just the way his defensive schemes alone. I mean, we give teams hell, and I hate it. Like, how is it I root for this team so hard and we lose? The one time I want them to lose, we freaking win.
What do you expect, though? He comes in there and you want him to lose games so we can be like, is Jordy Fernandez a good coach?
I mean, we did choke. We did intentionally throw that Nuggets game. I'm so confident.
Nah. I was watching that. You guys didn't intentionally throw that. You guys were trying to win.
He put Shake Milton in the game in the fourth quarter for like the whole time, and he intentionally like threw the game. Otherwise, we would be 5-0. And we have a test tonight. We're playing the Warriors. So number one team in the West. We'll see what we can do against them. But, the talk is not really... Obviously, we know the greatness of Cam Thomas. We know how good Zaire Williams and Dennis Schroeder are playing. The man I want to talk about right now is Cameron Johnson. Because I put a tweet out, I think, in August, September. Because Cam Johnson has not been well-liked in the Nets community since he got traded here. Because... he really hasn't been able to find his footing. He's been struggling. He's dealt with a lot of injuries last year. Everyone called him like Joe Harris 2.0. We paid him $25 million a year because he's Mikhail's best friend, yada, yada, yada. And I tweeted that Mikhail being gone will do wonders for CJ. And that's exactly what's happening. He's been our best player this past week. And look, I mean, he's averaging 19 points on 67% true shooting, 43% from above the break threes.
Wow.
And... he's having 30-point games like they're going out of style. He's already had 4 this year. I don't think he even had one last year. So we're
averaging
19 points right now.
19, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and he's also doing really well for our tank too because he'll airball a 3 with like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And like this man gets the assignment. Like he understands the assignment, man. He airballed the 3 last night with like 7 seconds left.
So you're telling me he's purposely airballing?
No, I don't think he is. But like, you know what I mean. But yeah, for me, it's good because I've been defending Cameron Johnson since he got traded here because I really like his game.
Right.
Because he's one of those guys that can shoot the 3 ball, but he'll just drive in and he yammed it on Embiid in the playoffs 2 years ago. So it's good to see. And we can't talk about the Nets without talking about Cam Thomas. Like I just can't do it. You know what I mean? Currently, right now, he's averaging 25 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 40% from 3 on 60% true shooting. They say he can't play make. He has 13 assists in his last 2 games. So there you go. So
league average, I guess.
Yeah, but we don't need him to be Chris Paul. We just need him to be hold his own.
He had 3 and 3 in the last games before 6 and 7. So I guess the last 2 were better, but
Cam
3 and 3.
Even if he gets 3 assists, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
because he's not a passer, but he can play make.
Yeah, streaky assisting above 6, but yeah.
This might be the best compliment I've ever given to Cam Thomas. He is a 6'2" Kobe Bryant.
And that's who he models his game after. That's why he wears number 24. Yeah,
that's it. Straight up.
He is just a total bucket.
Yeah.
I adore watching this kid play. I mean, he is obscene. What are you doing over there?
I don't know. This mic keeps bumping into this.
You're bumping into it.
You're bumping into the equipment.
No, it has a mind of its own.
Yeah, it really does, though. I remember when his used to just drop all the
Mine drops, yes.
But, yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if he's the most underrated, but he's the most overhated player in the NBA.
I don't hate him.
Well, not you.
I don't hate him either.
But a lot of people like
Nets fans hate him.
Nets fans adore him. Like, we love Cam
Some
Thomas.
some Nets fans don't. Right?
Some Nets fans don't because of the leftover KD stands and stuff like that. But it's like we played Boston a couple weeks ago, and you just saw all the Boston fans just like, bro, Cam Thomas is unreal, dog. Like, it's insane. The only fan base that won't give him props is Knicks fans.
He doesn't exist again.
He dropped 43 on you guys in the NBA Cup. What are you talking about?
Doesn't exist.
You guys
we won the game. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they won the game.
They did win the game, but remember, before when we traded Harden, Cam Thomas, we were down 28 against the Knicks, and Cam Thomas came alive in the fourth quarter and won that game. So
yep,
he loves.
We don't remember that.
No, we don't.
We don't remember. We have no recollection.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
I am a big fan of Cam Johnson, and Cam Thomas, but Cam Johnson, I think, the McHale trade is benefiting him because he has more time to have the ball in his hands, of course, and he's in the shouts for, I think, most improved. If he is eligible, I'm sure he is.
I don't know if he's in the conversation for it, but it would be nice if he was.
But Cam Johnson, I think he'll probably get moved, which is unfortunate for him because I'm sure his numbers will probably dip a little bit. But
Naturally.
Looking at the Nets, Cooper Flag's not even in their cards right now.
He actually technically is. We're out of the playoffs right now.
Where are you guys?
I think we're in 11th.
No, you're 9th.
Well, we can
You're
still
in the play-in.
remember the Hawks were 8th and wound up getting the first pick, so it's possible.
Yeah, we'll
I think
see.
you guys. I don't even know if you guys want Cooper Flag. I think you guys want Ace Bailey.
You want
think-
Ace Bailey.
What I actually do think is that the long-term goal is to get Ace Bailey and AJ DeBansta in 2026. But come on, it's Cooper Flag, man. Just get him.
But Ace
Just get him.
Bailey looks good.
He looks really good.
He looks
but
good.
so does Dylan Harper. So does VJ.
yeah.
I'll be happy with any of them.
All
to be honest.
of them are
those
so
four
good.
guys.
Oh my god.
Not Dylan Harper though. You already have Cam.
You know what the craziest thing is too?
What?
Because I remember watching the Hawks get Risa Shea, and I was telling my dad, I was like, I don't think I'll ever know the feeling, weirdly enough, of like getting one of these like top draft picks, and then we trade Mikal Bridges literally like later that day, and it's just nuts how we're in this position now.
Here it is.
And yeah, I'm enjoying the process right now. It's a little tough to adjust considering we were contending for a championship a few years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm getting used to it as a fan. It also helps that Nikola Jokic exists, so I can at least cure my mental health with him. But like, all I'm saying is we kept the better twin. We kept the better twin from the Phoenix Suns.
They're not twins.
Well, no, their nickname is the Twins because they've spent every waking moment in their NBA careers together.
Okay.
So, and I actually do think Cameron Johnson is better than Mikal Bridges.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
I mean,
Right now he is. Yeah, he's pouring.
I mean, if you think about it, they both aren't the greatest defenders anymore, but he is more of a willing defender. He's much better at creating his own shot, and he's a much better 3-point shooter. So,
Okay.
that's kind of my
That's a
view
fair
of it.
point.
And he also gives his all. Mikal doesn't always give his all.
Dang, that's tough.
It really is. It's a sad reality, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But any final thoughts regarding the Brooklyn Nets? Do you got anything to say about my pride and glory?
No, nothing to say. All I have to say is get Ace Bailey. Don't get Cooper. Cooper's good.
No, Cooper's going to be
Cooper's
insane.
good.
Ace
is great.
is great, but Cooper's like in between Zion and Wemby. He's like right in the middle of that.
Yeah.
He's going to be insane. And if you see him at Duke, he's going off.
Yeah.
So, all right, you ready to move on to the next team?
Go on, next team.
Antoine, take
What
it
are you
away.
doing over there?
the Knicks are blowing out the Nuggets right now.
What?
They are up by 10.
Oh,
Okay.
Bro said blowing out. Like,
Blowout.
What's the quarter?
It's
First.
the end of the first, 34-24.
All right, just wait for Russ to come
Remember,
in.
the Nuggets were down by 18 against they were like 20-something against the Lakers at halftime.
Yeah.
And they outscored them 37-15 in the third.
We're a third quarter team.
They really are. They're insane.
Yeah.
But, Antoine, bring us into the fourth team.
Yeah, we're going to move to L.A. Both L.A. teams are doing actually pretty good, but we're going to move to the new team with the new Intuit Dome. The Clippers, they are currently on a 5-game winning streak. They have moved up to the 5th seed in the West, right below the Lakers, as of right now. They've taken quite a turn for the better without Kawhi Leonard and also without Norman Powell in recent days. He's been out with a hamstring strain. He's their leading scorer. And without him, you have guys, Harden, of course, stepping up, Zubac, Derek Jones, Amir Coffey was inserted into the lineup for Norman Powell's filling in very nicely.
Very nicely.
Terrence Mann got moved to the bench.
Straight man.
Terrence Mann.
Bro, he's been ass.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
Terrence Mann.
Terrence, I almost said Trey Man. Terrence Mann is like allergic to buckets.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's such a shame because he just got
I
drafted
know.
too.
Yeah.
He was actually good last year, though. But I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it
listen.
sucks.
But when you have Amir Coffey, who's in the same position, he steps in perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even, I guess, throwing shouts for Kevin Porter Jr.
No.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing well, though.
Playing well.
No, we
I
still
guess.
no, and I'm good. I'm okay.
Yeah,
okay.
outside of Norm, Harden, Zubac,
Coffey.
the role guys. Well, Coffee and Derek Jones, the role guys. Those two stepped up big. When Norm comes back, of course, you're going to have 23 points added back into the starting lineup. And then I guess the big thing, we're all waiting on Kawhi. But as of right now, they're doing quite well without him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is
I'm shocked.
a luxury to have him come back and add more to the firepower. So we'll see. But right now, it looks like things are clicking for what they have right now set in stone. So what do we have? Is this going to be sustained success for now for them? I mean, their last 5 wins have been against the 76ers, who we know are
Ass.
bottom barrel.
Yep.
The Kings, it's a good win in the Cup.
Yeah.
The Magic, another good win, I think. The Warriors, great win.
Yeah.
And then the Jazz,
Hey, the Jazz beat the Knicks, but again, the Knicks are kind of ass.
they
so,
did
yeah.
lose to the Rockets back-to-back, both at Houston, which,
Houston's so good.
is one cup game, one non-cup game.
Yep.
Houston is on a heater, though, so
Telling you.
that's pretty,
Yeah, they're playing really
that's
well.
okay.
So-
The game before was the Thunder, again, another team that's
Good
on
team.
the right. But after those 3 losses, they picked right back up,
Yep.
and they're currently down 30 to Boston, but it's okay.
It's Boston.
Yeah. It pains me to say this, considering he quit on our franchise, but I got to give props to James Harden.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been obscenely good
Yeah.
to start the year. So far this season, he's averaging 21, 7, and 9. It's like he's having games of like 15, 16 assists.
Yes.
And he's really like he takes guys under his wing and he puts them in the right spots.
Yeah.
And that's I think the biggest compliment I can give James Harden, because we experienced this in Brooklyn before he left.
Yeah.
And I think that's so valuable to a team that has no expectations because your best player is not playing. And it kind of takes the pressure off, if that makes any sense. And look, I think this is honestly the perfect situation for James Harden, because once Kawhi comes back, I think the assist numbers are going to keep going up. He won't average as many points. He's going to take a little bit of a backseat in that regard. And then obviously Norman Powell, in my opinion, is a veteran version of Benedict Mathurin, because he's a guy that is pretty athletic. I wouldn't say he's as athletic as Benedict Mathurin, but instant scoring punch,
Oh, yeah.
just lights out from behind the arc.
He's a
is just-
professional offensive player.
yeah, and he is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when he was in Toronto, we could not stop him.
There's nothing you
at
can
all.
do.
Nothing you can do. And it's just so stupid, because it's just like, yeah, you can't stop him, but he also just gets left open all the time.
Right.
It's like you forget about him,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But
Yeah, like he's not super fast, not super quick, doesn't jump out the gym,
nope.
but he's just that good of a player.
He's just that good, man.
Yeah.
And
I don't know
it's
what it
really
is.
it's good to see.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, the Clippers have a defensive rating of 97.9 with Norman Powell
Wow.
on the floor.
Wow.
Which is the best defensive rating since the 2012 Bulls.
Wow.
Yeah.
That Bulls team was insane on
Remember,
defense.
that's with Norman Powell on the floor.
Wow.
Norman Powell also has the 3rd best effective field goal percentage on pull-up shots. Could we guess who the top 2 are? Just random shots.
Let's go SGA.
And you?
Pull-up shots.
Just pull-up shots from anywhere. 3, midi.
I will go Brunson.
Go KD, actually.
All right, so number 1 is Steph Curry.
Okay.
Number 2 is Tyler Hero.
Oh,
Oh,
well, there you go.
So there you go. And Norman Powell's 3rd. So
That's not bad.
It's insane. And look, again, that's why I always say Ty Lue is one of the most underrated coaches. He is the NBA's Mike Tomlin.
Yes.
Very
I think
steady.
it's a good shout.
Very
Very
steady.
very steady.
Mr. Consistent.
Dealt with a lot of like, hectic seasons.
Yeah.
Yes.
So kind of is what it is regarding the Clippers.
yeah.
So anything
know,
else to say?
Really quickly, I just want to say, if you're a Russ fan and you only see the NBA through the Russell Westbrook scope like I do,
Like you, yeah.
this season for James Harden is kind of like the season where Russell Westbrook got traded to the Wizards, you know, it was kind of like a lower version of himself, but still exceeded expectations and brought the team up and got them to the playoffs. So that's what I'm seeing from James Harden. Keep going.
Yeah.
It's a great season. So
I don't know. I don't know if I would necessarily classify it as that because Russ was quite bad on Washington.
no, he was very good.
No, I'm talking
not
about
sure if you
compared to
watched.
his OKC days.
No, Russ was very good on Washington. I don't know if you watched.
I watched. I mean, the Wizards were not that good, so I didn't really watch.
They were
much.
the 7 seed.
Yeah, they were the 8 seed, I think, because they played Philly in round 1.
Okay, maybe they were 8 seed.
But yeah, I don't remember him being that. Like, I think he's more impactful now on Denver than he was in Washington.
I highly disagree.
I don't know, man. Russ has had to do a lot this season to start, so it's tough. Remember, the East is just the East, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it kind of is what it is. And also, Bradley Beal almost won the scoring title that year. So
Yeah.
he was like,
because of Russ.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal will tell you that.
Yeah.
Russ averaged 12, 13 assists that year.
yep.
Triple-double.
If only Steph didn't have that monstrous last game, otherwise he would have won.
Yeah.
He won by like 0.3 or something like that. So it's unfortunate. But any final thoughts regarding the Clippers before we move into the final team?
Let's go.
Before we get into the final team, let me read you a stat line. 34 points, 13 assists, 9 threes, 3 steals, 12 of 23 from the field. Tyrese Halliburton tonight.
Wait, say that one more time.
37 points, 13 assists, 9 threes, 3 steals, 12 of 23 from the field. He's back, baby. That's his second good game in a row.
No, he's playing a Pelicans team that has guys on the street. Let's relax.
Hey, listen, you want it, bro? The Knicks lost to the Utah Jazz, who have guys on the street. So
He let Alfred Payton get 21 assists. Let's move on.
that's impressive, but that's not his. It's an assist. What do you want him to do?
Well,
How's that his fault?
Alfred Payton had 21 assists, 5 turnovers. But
Yeah.
Trey Murphy had 24, CJ McCollum had 23.
So don't hate on Hallie, bro, or he's gonna knock you out of the playoffs again.
Nah,
So
he's gonna throw up donuts like he did when he played against.
Yeah,
look,
I
at the
agree
end
with
at
that.
the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many points he dropped. He still sent him to Cancun, and I
We'll
love him
see.
for it.
Hey, look,
No, I'm
it's
talking
a
about
new year.
I'm saying he did it already. That's what
I
I'm
know,
saying.
but I'm saying it's
So-
a new year now.
I understand that, but he did it.
Our team was so injured.
So were they.
They were.
Tyrese Halliburton was playing the whole year injured, bro. And remember, you guys got the biggest gift of a lifetime playing the most injured Sixers team I've ever seen in my life.
Embiid almost got a dud.
Exactly. So imagine if he was healthy. First round Embiid is actually good. So, anyways, let's get into the final team. A team that's really been surprising me because I thought they were screwed. That's the Orlando Magic. So obviously we know Paolo Banchero's missed a few weeks now with an oblique injury. He's supposed to come back, I think, right around Christmas or if anything like around January-ish. The Magic have won 8 of their last 9 games with that one loss being against the Clippers.
Yeah.
They're 2-0 in their NBA Cup group. So even though I predicted them to finish 4th in the group, I still predicted them to win the whole thing. So it's possible. I gave myself a good opportunity here. But we all know we have to talk about the elephant in the room, Franz Wagner. I mean, my goodness. He had a game winner against the Lakers the other day. Just inspirational stuff.
Stepping up big time.
In his last 11 games, he's averaging 28 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. Shooting splits of 47, 35, and 88.
Wow.
That's like
Listen.
insanely good.
Right now, he's a contract riser.
Yes. I mean, I doubted this bro. I thought he was like criminally overpaid. I knew his potential was there, but like for the money he got, like crazy. It's just nuts.
Yeah, I
He's
mean-
already had 5 games of producing 35 and 5 this season alone. And we're only like, what, 17 games in?
Yeah,
18 games
not
in?
even, yeah.
Before this season, he only had 3 of those games. So he's already surpassed his career total.
Yeah.
He's also one of 2 players to have a 35 and 5 game this season in under 30 minutes, the other one being SGA. So already improving his aura as well. So what do we have to say about the Orlando Magic?
Yeah, listen, another team similar to Memphis, just with, I guess, more developed depth. Mo Wagner, his brother, is giving them quality minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Suggs, of course, same thing. Anthony Black's getting time now. Wendell Carter's kind of been gone because of Mo injury. Mo's filling in. Goga Badad's day is filling in, getting minutes. Tristan Da Silva's been doing good, filling in for Paolo. He's been starting the majority of the games for them. Not really a scorer, but a big body defender. KCP's
He's hurt.
KCP.
He's hurt.
Jonathan Isaac, your guy, has been kind of
He got dunked on by
Consistent.
LeBron.
in and out.
Saw that.
But those are kind of the rotation guys that are doing good. I mean, they have some younger guys that are kind of bracing the barrel, like Jed Howard and Cole Anthony and Gary Harris. But all the guys I listed before them are getting more of the time. And they're filling in quite well for mainly Paolo, getting the points from Mo Wagner, Anthony Black. And then your defense with Mo and Goga Badadze and De Silva filling in for KCP and Paolo. But I see just another team that's going to be a top 4 seed when Paolo comes back. I want to see, of course, maybe some minor moves made trade-wise to lighten up this roster. Maybe Wendell gets moved. Like
what's their ceiling without Paolo?
Their ceiling, they'll be right now they're 3rd. I think they go as low as 7 or 8.
Yeah, they can't sustain this without Paolo.
Yeah,
you need Paolo because they're a much more premium version of Memphis right now in the sense that I even think like Paolo's better than Ja right now. It's not even close. Paolo is. It really is a shame. We've talked about this before. Paolo's been blackballed by the NBA, and he needs more spotlight because he's that good. Like Paolo's going to finish the season a top 15 player at the very least, and he was already just outside it to begin with. So, you're looking at a guy that's, if he's healthy when he comes back, I mean, this team could fuck around and make a run.
Yeah.
Especially if you have like some of the vets on this team, if they wake up, i.e. KCP, like, who knows what can happen.
Yeah.
But KCP hasn't been hurt. Sorry, we have to congratulate KCP. Clap it up.
Oh, he hasn't been hurt?
No, because him and his wife just had another kid.
That's
so congratulations to brother man. So we apologize for the previous slander, but
his box scores look abysmal.
Well, I mean, he got paid.
On the babies.
He's not contending for a championship.
Yeah.
The Magic are just trying to be competitive and just develop Paolo and the young guys.
Yeah.
So Gio, any of your thoughts regarding the Orlando Magic?
Yeah. Really quick, I'll just say injuries suck, but one thing injuries do is they provide other players on the team the opportunity to showcase the skills that they got, and Franz is the beneficiary of that, and we're seeing how good he is. So, yeah, this is good for the future of the Magic,
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
I like that, man. A few words, but they're few impactful words.
That's it.
So that's all you got to do. Sorry, I just got distracted because Toronto did it again.
Well, they lost.
They were just dominating the entire game. The Pistons came back, and Jaden Ivey just made a game winner.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, we got to clap it up. We got to clap it up for Darko and Masai Ujiri, bro.
Yeah.
This is like the Wizards are doing the obvious route just by getting pounced every game, and they're just getting shellacked.
Yeah.
We're kind of like a mix. We're like pretending to be a really good team when we're really not.
Yeah.
And the Raptors, man, they are just killing you. They're playing like the 90s Bulls for the first 3 quarters, and then they're playing like the Pistons for the last quarter. It's impressive. Like I'm genuinely like.
Yeah, Scotty had 31, 14, and 7.
Scotty.
This is truly we're witnessing one of the most ethical tank jobs in NBA history right now.
I will also say the Knicks are up 20 on the Nuggets right now.
Holy.
I mean, the Lakers were up 20 yesterday, so it didn't really, or 2 days ago, so it didn't really matter.
OG has 12, Cat has 16 and 6, and Brunson has 12. Campaign has 6 off the bench.
I told you, Campaign's big time.
6 points is crazy, but
6 points and it's not even halftime, right?
Jokic is struggling right now. Only 13 and 4.
Well, I assume that if the Nuggets are down, it's because Jokic
he's
is
probably
not.
getting double teamed and no one's making shots around him. So
Probably the case, yeah.
How many does he have right now?
Russ is 0 of 4 and 0 of 2 from 3.
Shots will start falling.
Jokic has 13 and 4 and 2.
No, that's not struggling, bro.
Percentage.
13. He's 5 of 11.
Yeah, it's over 50.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's not. It's just under 50%. He's good.
MPJ has 10 on 4 of 6.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. It's fine.
Yeah.
But any final thoughts regarding these teams? Anything else to say before we jump into the final segment?
Let's jump
go.
in.
All right, let's do it. All right, into the final segment, lads. It's time for Shower Thoughts, the segment that racks our brains and makes Antoine turn super sus for no reason at all. So we took a break from Shower Thoughts last week, and we'll kind of be a little sporadic with this segment. If we have a tier list, we'll do that instead, whatnot. So we didn't have one this week, so we figured we'd do Shower Thoughts again. I have a really good question for this week. It's a 2-parter, and you were actually kind of talking about it earlier, Gio.
I thought so.
So we're going to talk about it. So just for context, about a week or so ago, Jimmy Highroller uploaded a video talking about the NBA's 3-point shooting problem, where it's gotten so bad to a point where a 2-pointer is now worth more than a 3 because, the value you're getting of it. Yeah. So, everyone's shooting threes like nothing, right? Like the Warriors in 2017 shot so many threes that it almost like broke the NBA. Every single team this year is averaging more threes per game than that Warriors team.
That's bad.
It's nuts. The Celtics are averaging like 50 something. It's insane. And, it comes to a point where, we're getting to that point where more than half of a team's shots are going to be 3-pointers. And I don't know if that's good for the game or if it's not good for the NBA or whatnot. So the first part of my question is this 3-point shooting good for the NBA and is it good for television? So whoever wants to start and start.
I mean, I'm perfectly okay with it because what is your problem, bro?
Anthony, I knew you were gonna say that.
Coming from a guy that coming from a shooter himself, of course I'm gonna say it's good.
Bro, you're not even a shooter.
Bro, did you see me not clamp you down in the fit all the time?
What does that have to do with shooting?
Okay, I clamped you from 3 all the time.
Clamped me from 3?
And you cried. You cried outside and ran screaming like a little girl.
The funniest thing is, guys, Gio's never played organized basketball in his life, and he cooks the daylights out of Antoine.
No, I shoot and I drive right past him because he's slow.
That's crazy. That is crazy. You got a 5'8" guy talking smack to 2 guys over 6 foot.
Oof.
I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah.
I think it's good in certain ways for lighting up box scores and getting players, I guess, to their, scoring, What am I getting at here?
I don't even know.
I see the value in 2-pointers, of twos, of course, like layups, jump shots, floaters, step backs, mid-range. Threes are just from outside the arc. I don't want to have a team be like my Knicks. If they're sucking from 3, stop shooting threes. Resort back to your small ball, your jump shots, your twos, like rebounding, putbacks, dunks. Like, yes, that's the value of when you're not nailing threes because you have off shooting nights from all your starters. So I do see the value in 2s, and I'm leaning towards that. But there is a lot of value in 3s. If you're hot, you're hot, i.e. Boston. When they're knocking it down, they're knocking it down. But if you have teams that are, not Boston and cannot shoot the 3, then, yeah, you value the 2 more. I think it has to mold around what your team is built around. If it's built around 3-point shooting, then you model – that's your offense. If your team is not 3-point shooting, then you model off of it per se.
That's a good take.
I think that's the route you take. But I think every team is building a 3-point juggernaut to some degree where you have multiple shooters.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be having guys that are all 3-point shooters. You got to have guys that rebound. You got to have guys that drive and draw fouls because you got to get to the free throw line when it comes down to it.
Well, the counterpoint to that would be like the less shooters you have on the floor, the worse the spacing is going to be. And then your offense can't really click.
That is true.
And Steve Kerr said it himself, like, if you can't shoot the 3, how are you going to compete with these teams?
Yeah.
That's kind of the way. The Warriors set the tone, unfortunately, and everyone's just kind of following suit. Because, follow the dynasty, do what the hell they're doing. Like, it works. It clearly does work. But I'll ask you, Gio, is this good for television?
It's terrible for television.
Say louder for the people in the back.
It's terrible for television.
Yeah.
And that's because of the facts, the numbers. The numbers are showing you it's terrible for television. People are not watching the NBA as much as they used to because of this. Yeah. This is the reason. People are just playing basketball. They're just jacking up 3-pointers. Like what are we doing? Like, I see guys that are just physically gifted, 6'8", like super muscular. They're jacking up threes. Like they think they're like Steph Curry. No, bro. Go to the basket.
We saw a 7'5" Victor Wembanyama take 15 threes in an NBA game.
What is he doing?
Bro,
that is just terrible.
You're a building. Get your ass in the paint.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's crazy.
It's hard to watch. It really is. I can't watch, and especially if you're missing, it's even worse, and it just makes me not want to even watch basketball, at least for the rest of the day, at least. But Yeah, they have to do something about that. Like, teams need to figure this out. This is bad for the game.
Yeah. I think back to Nuggets-Wolves Game 7. Denver just started jacking up threes in the second half, and the game got away from them. You know, it's just like, and they're a team that's the lowest in three-point volume. They don't shoot many threes.
Right.
So it's just like,
live by the three, die by the three.
exactly. And it's bad. It's awful for television. Like, it's just, on like opening night when the Celtics played the Knicks, the Celtics took 13 threes in a row and made none of them at the end, trying to break the record.
So bad.
You see stretches in games like the Celtics and the Hornets are the biggest like culprits of this because they just jack up three after three after three. And it's just insane.
It looks like my LA Fitness runs.
Yeah.
With like the old heads. Just
Kinda
jacking
what it
up
is.
threes. No. Play basketball.
The people want to
That's
see
not basketball.
poster dunks. They want to see reverse layups. They want to see mid-range. They want to see just a whole variety. You just don't want to be, you know, cameraman's just going like back and forth of everything. Just like, you know, like, oh, three, run, turnover, foul. It's just, the league has unfortunately gone away from its roots. And it's essentially, I'm not saying the threes are all bad because you obviously have to take threes in the game, but like all we're seeing is three-point shooting, flopping, or flopping while taking a three-pointer.
Yeah.
So like,
It's ugly.
it's ugly. It needs to change.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Did Steph Curry ruin the NBA?
No.
Okay.
Steph Curry, it's just his game. It's just he's so influential that everyone else just kind of followed suit with it. So it's kind of what it is. And even the fact now you have shooting centers in the league, it doesn't really matter how good a center is. They're always going to shoot. You know, you have your rare breeds like your Steven Adams or your Jakob Poeltls that don't shoot. And you cherish those guys because there's not many of them left.
Nope.
So it kind of is what it is. But look, unfortunately it's good for the game because it works and it contributes to winning. But for TV, fuck man, it's ass. Like I can't. It's just annoying watching them take all these threes. Like
even watching the highlights, like the highlights on the NBA on the YouTube app,
YouTube channel,
right? Like even like those 9 minutes of watching the game, every shot feels like it's a 3-pointer. Even if it's going in, it's boring.
Well, I mean, there are times where it's like if a team's making a comeback and they make like 6 threes in a row, that's good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But like I'm talking about every shot for 9 minutes it seems like it's jacking up a three or it's like a transition layup or something like that. It's like it's boring.
It's boring. It literally is. It's like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
So it kind of is what it is. Any final thoughts regarding, Antoine, you have any comments regarding TV, or do you want me to get into the second part of the question?
No, I think those are all great points you made up because, you know, you want to see more physicality. 3-pointers are not physicality.
Correct.
So, you know, I definitely see the point. Of course, want to be a part of the game. It helps close leads. It helps for, like, down the line towards the end of the game if you got to get closer to your opponent, you got to score. Of course, 3-pointers get you closer to closing your gap, however much you're down. Even if you're up, same thing. But let's not completely shoot out of the game, as Tyler would say Randall would do all the time in the playoffs for us. Shoot out of the game. And then if you shoot out of the game in the first quarter, the game's essentially over. You know, if you're down 20, you know, and you keep shooting, you're not getting anywhere. So the more you shoot threes, the possibility you more can get yourself into a gap, essentially.
Right. Like even tonight, the Celtics shot 51 threes against the Clippers. Like that's insane.
Wow.
It just can't. It's insane. I don't even have words for it anymore. This brings me into the second part of the question. We're obviously in the pace and space era. This is the 3-point shooting era we're in the NBA right now. Are we just scratching the surface? Like, will it get worse? Or is this the peak and will it start to change over the next few years?
Oof, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's
I'll let you take that one first.
No, I went first last time. You go.
Yeah, you go first, bro.
All right, well, I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say it's going to get a little worse from this point, but then it's going to get better. So I don't see it getting worse for the next 2 seasons. I see it getting worse for this season alone.
Yeah.
And it'll just stay around the same thing, and then it'll start to get better because people are starting to, talk about it now.
Right.
We're finally started. I saw Charles Barkley said something. Shaq said something. So people, the legends of the NBA, they're saying things. The fans watching, they're saying things. So I don't know. I hope some change will be done, but I don't see it happening this season because if coaches and teams are convinced that these 3-point shots are helping their team win, they're going to continue to do that.
Right.
So I see it maybe changing a little bit next season, but we'll see.
Antoine?
Reiterate the question one more time.
So it's, are we just scratching the surface with the 3-pointers, or is it going to get worse, or is this kind of the peak, and is this like a turning point? Will it get better as, like, you know, will the league transition kind of as time goes on?
I think if it ever does get to a full transition, that's when they incorporate the 4-point line. Then the 2-pointer really becomes useless after that.
No way, bro.
No, not a chance.
No way they're
They're
incorporating.
never doing a 4-point line.
No, I'm
There's no
saying
way.
if that ever does happen and it's a 2-pointer, that's when the full transition happens.
not gonna
to
happen.
fully shoot.
I actually no, because
if that does happen.
if they bring the 4-point line, the 3-pointer will be irrelevant because they're either going to be in the paint or they're going to be behind the 4-point line.
Right.
Okay, I guess. I think it kind of, when Steph came in, I think that was scratching the surface because this is one guy that does it all. Now, when it comes to signing guys, drafting guys, you're looking for a wing that could shoot if need be, and everybody's kind of incorporating shooting. Jokic, Chet,
Even guys like
Wemby.
Anthony Edwards, who's like, you know, super athletic, attacking the rim. Even he's shooting like 10 3-pointers a game close to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it's also because maybe they're confident in their shot making abilities at 3. They're practicing in the gym. They're seeing it go down a lot more.
Yeah.
And they're improving on it. But sometimes it doesn't translate into the game. If you're off shooting wise from mid range or even 3, then maybe you should resort back to driving and get layups, get dunks, get some floaters closer to the basket where you're kind of that's not a word. Easy. Your shot making ability is easier because you're so close.
Right.
So I think it's turned the peak a lot more recently because, you know, from Steph, I think that was scratching the surface. Now it's taken a new step up. I think there's still more to come.
Yeah.
Eventually, I just don't know what it would be essentially.
And that's
I'll tell you-
we'll find out.
I'll tell you one thing. In order for this to change, it's going to take an NBA player that's not NBA player, but a player that gets drafted that becomes the face of the league, that doesn't have this type of play style and dominates without that play style, then the NBA will follow suit.
Right.
That's
Okay.
what it's going to take. Because, you know, Steph Curry came in the NBA, he was doing this. It was, you know, it became to the point where they were dominating, the Warriors were dominating with this play style.
Yeah.
Everyone followed. Same thing with LeBron. Same thing with Shaq. When Shaq was in the league, everyone was drafting bigs all day long. So it's like you have to dominate the league in a different way. Then the NBA will change. The culture shift will happen.
Yeah.
And I hope that happens soon for the sake of the NBA.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, we thought we saw it with Jokic 2 years ago, but in that playoff run, he did shoot 48% from 3. So he can shoot. But again, the Nuggets are not a team that is a high-volume 3-point shooting team. And when they played the Heat won games with their good 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
And when they lost, they shot like shit from behind the arc.
Yeah.
But, like, I think we are hitting a peak. I think it might get a little worse, but in the past few years, we have seen a little bit of stagnation as regard to 3-point attempts. It might get up to the 50% as far as like half the shots they take are threes.
Oh, disgusting.
Yeah. But I think things evolve, things will change.
Yeah.
And I think it will start to go back down a little bit. We'll see what becomes the new era in 2030 or whatever, because
We'll see.
you know, the pace and space era is probably winding its way down. When will the end be? I don't know. My guess is like 2033, something like that. I think we've got at least another decade of this.
Wow. I think that players shooting threes, it feels lazy to me. Specifically Wemby, because he's the next generation.
Yeah.
It feels lazy the amount of times that he chucks up a 3. I think he's just tired. He doesn't feel like putting in the effort to get to the paint.
His conditioning's
and
awful, so
and bump bodies and all that
it
stuff.
checks out.
So I think he's just like, let me just chuck up a 3. I'm pretty decent at it anyways.
Right.
But
But again, like, you know, the best teams everyone can shoot.
Yeah.
So why don't you take threes? And again, having a stretch big in your lineup is just so huge
Yeah,
for
it is.
spacing.
It is.
So even when your star player goes into the paint,
Right.
you know, the defense isn't all going to be sucked in.
Well, I think I have one solution, though,
Okay.
and that would be to bring back hand checking.
Oh, God.
If we bring back hand checking, I think the defense will be more aggressive, especially out towards the three-point line.
Yeah.
You won't see as much space for them to shoot up threes, meaning there will be more drives to the basket, more mid-range shots, more post-up game. I think a more physical game is the solution to all these three-pointers. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just, I don't know. I think a team's going to need to win it. A team's going to have to grow a pair and win a championship without that style. And then the rest of the league's going to have to follow suit. And it's not going to happen. I just hit my headphones. But yeah, that's essentially kind of that. We'll see. Let us know your thoughts in the comments of what you think. It's definitely an interesting epidemic the NBA has got themselves in.
Yeah.
But it kind of is what it is. And, that's kind of grouped into the fact of the whole TV stuff with, illegal streaming sites and overpriced networks and everything of that nature. So kind of is what it is. And these guys make gobs of money. They don't need to try that hard anymore,
Right.
So it's not like they're earning like $60K a year. They're getting paid millions of dollars, and it's only going to go up from here. Yeah. So yeah, I think that was a pretty good shower thoughts segment.
That was a good question.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So whenever we do come back with shower thoughts, it will be Antoine's turn as we do rotate it. And, who knows, maybe in the future, if anyone comments a good shower thoughts question, we'll use that. Mm-hmm. So, lads, any final thoughts regarding this edition of Shower Thoughts?
No.
All right.
Wraps.
And with that brings us to the end of episode number 33 of the Floor Spacer podcast. Guys, how we feeling?
Feeling good. Watching this game. We about to.
Yeah, we're going to turn it on.
Let's go.
We also got Nets Warriors, too, so it's going to be a good,
I don't
good
care.
night of. Hey, listen, man.
I don't care.
That Knicks game looks like a snooze fest right now.
It's not a snooze fest. I need Jokic 30-plus points from my parlay. So I'm watching.
He'll get it.
I mean, if it's a blowout,
at
he's not going
13.
to play the fourth.
Oof.
So,
What's the score?
76-53.
remember, Knicks magnet ball. So if the Nuggets come out hot in the third quarter, it could be a game.
That's halftime?
That's halftime.
Yeah.
That's halftime right now.
So, and Gio, you know what time it is. We're at that point in the video. What do the people comment when they're still with the flow?
Let's do comment down Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Is there a reason as to why?
Because we going to infinity and beyond.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
That's why you're Seiju's Obe.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
right.
no one knows what that means, including us. But yeah, obviously, if you did enjoy today's video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We're closing in on 4K. Let's try and hit 4K by the end of the year. I think that's
that would be
doable.
awesome.
Please.
Doable.
Yes.
Let's get to 4K by the end of the year. Hit the bell. That way you're notified every single time we upload, which is every day. If you're on Spotify, give us 5 stars, answer the polls, yada, yada, yada. Follow us on our socials at Floor Spacer Pod and all the links below. Follow our personal ones. Get Gio to 1 million Twitter followers.
Do it.
As far as this week, anything exciting going on in the NBA this week as of note? Anything that we could think of? I think we'll
Not off the top of my head.
see what happens, and we'll report on it next week.
Exactly.
But any final thoughts from you guys?
No.
Sir.
Well, we hope you guys have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. We're very thankful for each and every one of you that clicks on our videos, clicks subscribes on our shorts and everything of that nature. And yeah, I think that's it from us. We hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. We love you all endlessly. And we'll see you all next month in December in episode 34. Peace out.